the Toffees to the Tractor Boys, the Eagles to the Seagulls, Gunners, Bees, Hammers and Magpies, Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles," and some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Okay, Monday the 6th of October, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Now, middle-aged men, middle-aged women, young men, young women, old men and old women, give us a call if you want to.
Everyone, call up.
What are you doing, Gary? Don't upset people. We are not going to upset people, that's for sure. Gabby, how are you this morning?
Let's sit on the fence. I'm very well, Ali.
How's your weekend?
A big weekend of playing paddle tennis and watching football, mate.
I saw it, man.
So what?
Where are you playing?
So I was in Bournemouth for the weekend. So what I did, Ali, was...
Well, you just away for the weekend, about
yeah. So I played...
You reached the stage you go down to tournaments now. I mean...
Yeah. So I lost... what I'll do is, I'll play a game of paddle and lose, then watch 2 games of football, play another game of paddle and lose, and watch another 2 games of football, and then go to bed and wake up and repeat. What about you, mate?
That's brilliant, mate. You love it. Well, I don't know. I'm getting into the paddle, mate. I played it in Portugal, and we've got a wee venture going, actually. We're doing opening up a wee paddle place up in Glasgow.
Lovely. Indoors?
Yes. Well,
probably has to be, doesn't it, with the weather?
Absolutely. I mean, an outdoor paddle court in Glasgow. The boys running about in duffel coats.
Gloves on and hats.
There's a thought. But it's a great game, mate. But I was the same as you. I want to ask you about paddle, but I'll give you my weekend first. What did I do? I just watched football, mate. I just completely OD'd in football at the weekend. I was out for a couple of nice meals. Friday night, a lovely Chinese meal in Glasgow. And then Saturday night, it was great. We went to watch the football with the boys. Then the evening game, just sat with the kids in the pub with a nice glass of wine, watched Chelsea Liverpool, and then went for a bite to eat. And then Sunday, what did we do Sunday? Went for a bit of breakfast and then watched football.
You know what's annoying? The amount of football that the Premier League has on TV now. You can't really watch La Liga or Serie A.
You don't get time.
You don't have time. Or Bundesliga, there's no time.
Barcelona got battered last night.
4-1.
And I've not even seen it.
Exactly. And there was a big game on last night, wasn't there? Juventus and AC Milan.
Yeah.
You're like, no, sorry, can't watch that.
But it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. So much Premier League.
What I was going to say to you, please for wee Jack. I was thinking about you, wee Jack gets a goal.
Yes.
Great, listen, a little bit of a break, but he's deserved it because he's been excellent since he's gone there.
What I like is that first half was quiet for his standards. Second half, he was more at it, and he doesn't stop out.
Yeah.
Even if he's not getting the better of his fullback, he's at them. He had a little bit with Munoz. I've seen that. I like that. Give him a bit.
That.
And Munoz was fuming, but that goal will do him a lot of his confidence. Definitely.
He's had a great start though, hasn't he? Really. Well, I think as of Everton, to be brutally honest with you.
Yeah, 100%. And he'll be disappointed he hasn't been called up by the national team, Al. But he will know maybe if he can get a couple more goals before next international break in November, then I'm sure he'll get that called up. Yeah, Foden, Bellingham and Jack Grealish, I'm sure will be in the next one.
I don't disagree with you, mate. So after 123 days, it says here, I thought it was 122, but we'll go with this 123. In 17 games, Russell Martin has been sacked by Rangers. The 1-0 draw at Falkirk was followed by fans staging a sit-down protest in front of a Rangers team bus, while Martin had to be escorted away by police in a separate car. First thing I would say on it, the scenes were unsavoury and I don't think did anybody any favours. However, the actual Russell Martin losing his job, the sacking of Russell Martin would be anything, certainly not a shock to anybody. Gabby, I've got to say it, or a surprise. I mean, the results, first and foremost.
Oh, I mean, terrible.
I think I've got them in front of me.
Yeah.
By the way, do you know where you're sitting? 8th in the table.
Wow, I looked yesterday after the game and I'm like, Aberdeen got a result and I'm like...
Aberdeen won 4, I know.
The incredible...
I'm just going to check it, but I'll tell you the other one. I think we've got a negative goal difference.
Yeah, you probably have.
We're sitting 8th in the table and we've got a negative goal difference. So, listen, mate, there's no surprise, I don't think at all. Ali, I
want to ask you, because we all repeat ourselves every hour, for new listeners, but for all the Rangers fans across the world, millions of them listening, there's no one better to be on this morning than you about their football club, your football club. What is the problem? Because it's not just Russell Martin, is it? What's the problem above? And has Russell Martin just give a good interview to get the job? And...
Do you know what I think? And I don't know, because I'm obviously speaking from the outside now, looking in. I think probably the new owners and certainly the old management staff there probably underestimated the size of the job and the task. I think there's a lot of people maybe just look a little bit at Scottish football and say, well, Rangers and Celtic will win their games and that's it, finished, that's because that's what they do. But as you know, football, Gabby, it's a lot more difficult than that and a lot harder than that. And I just think that aligned to really poor business in the transfer market in terms of recruitment. I mean, I'm looking at that team, Gab, and it's easy to blame the manager, but and the manager should, because the manager that's where the buck stops, that's where the responsibility is. It's at the manager's door. So that we all know that's what happens. But the players have got to take some of the responsibility as well, Gabby. Some of the defending. You see the goals Rangers lost midweek?
Yeah, it's incredible.
I mean, it was incredible.
Terrible.
I mean, pardon me, and as I said earlier, the buck rightly and understandably stops at the manager, but sometimes when you get on the pitch, you've got to take responsibility. And Rangers just look like, they look like wee boys, mate. They actually look, I'm watching that game. I watched the game against Falkirk yesterday. Falkirk outran Rangers, they outfought Rangers. And that can happen occasionally, but it's been happening on a regular basis. Not good enough, mate.
We had Alex McLeish on last week.
Yeah, big Alex.
Before the Livingston game. And I said to him, are you worried about this game? Because, teams are not scared of Rangers anymore. And he sort of laughed me off, big Alex. And I was like, mate, This isn't the Rangers of your era and the teams you managed. Like, no one's scared of Rangers now. Falkirk yesterday probably thought, yeah, no problem. Scott Arfield put in a performance as well. He was doing punditry.
Correct.
During the week, wasn't he?
Yeah. I was working on.
And he's played against Rangers. I had to check the name over twice.
Gabby, one of the worrying things is as well, sitting with 8 points from 7 games and a minus goal difference, right? And they've just read the figures there. 17 games, 5 wins, 6 draws, 6 defeats. You know, sitting 8th in the table, 1 win, 5 draws, 1 loss. The away games, you know, I think you've been to St Mirren, you've been to Motherwell, you've been to Falkirk. It's not as if you've been to Celtic, you've been to Hearts, Hibs, Aberdeen. You know, Livingston, you've been to.
Yeah.
These are games you would be expected to. I think I think your point to Big Alex absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
At this moment in time, Rangers are incapable of going anywhere and giving their fans a massive degree of confidence, no matter who they're playing.
I think the Falkirk manager yesterday said, didn't he? He said,
John McGlynn, yeah.
They're all. Most of the players are Rangers fans. They were there. They were there this season, watching them in the Europa League as fans.
That's right.
But it's like a day out. It's like, you know what? Get the first goal, or if it's 1-0, you're still in it. They'll crumble. They're weak. They haven't got the mentality.
Smell blood.
They're scared.
That's what they do.
The pressure.
Gabby, you're 100% right. The opposition, no matter who Rangers are playing right now, smell blood.
Oh yeah.
Right, and they'll go for it. And Rangers, unlike a wounded animal can be very, very dangerous. Rangers are a wounded animal at this moment in time, but look anything but dangerous. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think the players that they've signed over the last few years, you know,
not been good enough.
Campwells, the Lawrence, even this season, some of the players they've got from the Championship. Do you think that not just the players, but the managers that have signed them have thought, yep, I'll get them from the Championship, and, you know, the SPL's not as good as the Championship. It'll be easy for them, but they've come in and thought, ooh, you know, playing on these plastic pitches, it's not as easy as you think sometimes, Ali. The conditions as well.
And see, the one thing about the opposition, are they technically as gifted as some of the boys, particularly a lot of the boys in the top flight down south? No, they're not. But I tell you what they are, Gab. They're organised, really well organised, some good level of coaching, and they're really willing and committed players.
It's cup final. Correct. Rangers and Celtic is the cup final, isn't it?
Correct.
And if you put in a decent performance, Ali, what happens? We might end up getting a move.
Here we go. Right. It says roughly might be a couple of grand out, whatever it may be. Paid 9 million on a centre forward, Chermiti. Paid 4.5 on a right winger, Ant-Man. We spent 4 million on a winger, Cortez, who's now out on loan, by the way. But I don't even know where he is. He's out on loan. 4 million on Asgard, who came off the bench. 3 million on a centre forward, Miovski. Here's a classic for you. 3 million on the boy Fernandez, the centre back for Peterborough. And I've seen him in about 6-7 weeks. The only one for me would be the wee lad, Gassama.
Yeah.
He was come in at 2.5 million.
Yeah.
And looked lively, by the way.
Yes, very good.
And he's been, I would suggest he's probably, again with the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper has done really well. Goalkeeper has made a couple of mistakes here and there, as they do. But Jack Burns kept Rangers in it.
100%. Even he saved yesterday, late on.
Aye.
Kept them in it.
He did, mate.
But do you think as well, Ali, as a football club and an ownership, when a new manager comes in and they're falling out with Raskin and they're falling out with Tavernier, you're probably saying to yourself, okay, if you get results, we'll back you. But once you don't get the results,
you've no chance.
Then all the best when you've got a top Belgium international that you're obviously he's back playing now, but you fell out with for so long. The writing's on the wall, isn't it?
As well, see, like, particularly Raskin and Tavernier, whatever. See if you have a fallout with them. That's fine, because it can happen. We all know it can happen. But you cannot leave them out to the detriment of the team.
No.
Right? See if you've got a problem and you feel you should discipline them, then you might have to do it in another way.
Yes.
Because if it affects the team performance and the team's results, you can't do it.
Yep.
You cannot cut your nose off to spite your face.
Totally agree.
The team's the most important thing.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't get no doubt we'll get plenty of calls on that this morning. We understand that Stephen Gerrard and former Sheffield Wednesday boss Danny Roll are both in contention to replace Martin. So we're going to get your calls, Rangers fans out there this morning. I'm sure it's going to be a busy morning. Who do you guys want to see to come in as the next boss? Do you think the fans took it too far yesterday? Personally, Did they take it too far yesterday? I don't know, Gab. I must admit, I didn't like.
It's hard.
I didn't like what I saw because
Yeah.
it looked a little bit like mob rule to me.
Yeah.
Right, and we've not got a place for that. However, where I will stand up and say the fans have got every right to protest, they've got every right to voice their opinion. I do accept that, and I want that must continue.
But if they didn't, maybe he'd still have a job
I know.
now. So that's maybe the way they look at it. Maybe
You
it's
might
fans.
look at that, but
Yeah.
you know the drill. 03717 223 Give us a call. Coming up, we turn our attention to the back pages and ask a question: is the pressure everybody in the world seems to be putting on Big Adge unfair? That's coming up next. Out there, I don't mind that. I'm running the risk of my musical reputation could be in tatters.
Swifty.
Tatters.
I don't mind her.
I don't mind
That's
that.
The tunes, yeah.
Who's she married to? There's a question for you.
I don't know, but he plays American football.
Correct.
That's it. Thank you.
Kelsey.
Not
grammar.
Harris.
Kelsey.
Holmes.
Big guy with a beard. Kelsey.
6 foot lad with a beard.
Change your question. What was Kelsey Grammer in? He was in Cheers. Right, this is talkSPORT, believe it or not. Ally and Gabby with you this morning, and the song you're hearing, The Fate of Ophelia.
Okay.
The top track from Taylor Swift's brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl, which since its release on Friday has already amassed over 200 million listeners.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Have you heard? Is that the first time you've heard it?
Yes, Ali, yeah. I'm not a music person really at the moment.
No.
Nah.
See, I love my music, mate.
Yeah.
I'll jumping on the flight, bang, music, and that's me all the way down. I'll maybe watch it or listen to a podcast or watch something on my iPad.
How many songs do you get on in 40 minutes?
Oh, easy. Easy. 12. 12. Roughly 12 to
12 Ranger songs.
Roughly 12 to 14, mate. I've got to say to you, Taylor Swift was on in Edinburgh. Just seems like months back. And it was mayhem, man. The kids were going crazy. Everybody was going
Don't you think
crazy.
she's one of them that no matter what song she puts out, it'll be a hit?
Aye.
Because of who she is, the fame, level of fame she's got.
Yeah, I think, aye. I don't mind her. Very good. Right, we're going to have a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle baking bread? Improve your take-home dough with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big 3 networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
Joining us to bring up sanitary proceedings, Olivia.
Hi.
You can tell us a very good morning to you.
Good
Morning.
Olivia. Good
I'm-
morning.
This is
Taylor Swift's husband.
Oh, Travis Kelce.
That's it, Travis.
Travis
You said
Kelce.
Kelsey?
What? I know, I get mixed up.
Yeah, but that's his surname.
Yes.
Kelce.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Travis
Yeah, Travis
Kelce.
Kelce.
We're close.
What,
Brothers, isn't he? I don't really like. I'm not really a Taylor. I'm not a
No.
Swiftie.
Music
No, I like Love Story. Love Story's a banger. You Belong With Me, but I'm not someone that people go crazy for Taylor Swift. Her fans are mental.
Yeah.
But I'm not. No.
No, I could
Surprised
see
me,
that.
that is.
What
Why?
did you listen to?
No, you look like a Swiftie.
I actually take offence to that. I don't know what Swifties look like, but do you know, I listen to a bit of everything. There's not like one genre of music that I solely listen to.
Right, what are you listening right now?
I don't.
Give me something, anything at all. Come on. See, you don't look.
Shall I go on my Spotify playlist?
You don't look heavy rock to me.
I reckon Calvin Harris.
Bit of Craig David. Love a bit of Craig David.
right, yeah.
Love a bit of Craig David.
Right, he's hopeful.
My 30th playlist. The first 3 songs of 50 Cent.
Really?
Love
See, I
a bit.
don't-
Love a bit of 50 Cent. I saw him at the O2.
I don't mind about in the club.
Yeah.
Bum,
Ah,
bum,
yeah.
Oh, can we clip this up, please, for Alan on Wednesday?
I don't mind about in the club.
Honestly, I love
It's
a
your
bit of 50
party.
Cent.
Get on and ride, it's your party. Because we don't do anything, it's your party. Hey, you can't be about.
I tell you who is not a party for right now, and that's Ange Postecoglou.
Oh, yes.
So he is in the back of all of the papers this morning. Personally, this is my favourite. The back of the Daily Mail, Ange Hell of the North is the headline. And
Do you know something? Beautiful headline, but strong.
Yes.
Not necessarily.
no, yeah,
It's clever.
It's clever. It's creative.
Yes.
I like it. I like the headline. A bit harsh on Ange. And danger is on the back of the Sun. Obviously, 7 games, right? Lost 5 out of the 7. Is that right? 2 draws. Lost 5 out of 7. Is it harsh, Gabby, that he's actually under pressure right now? He's got talks with Evangelos Marinakis coming up.
Yeah,
Is he going to get sacked?
No way. I think he's got talks, and I've seen some of his interviews yesterday. He's like, you know what? It's not meant to be easy.
He's got fighting spirit in
could
it,
be sitting on the
Ange.
sofa, relaxing.
Yeah.
Give the guy a chance. Look at the league table. It's still very tight. They win their next game. They go to same points as Leeds, same points as Fulham.
Do you know their next game is, Gabby?
Yeah, Chelsea.
Do you know, had Chelsea not have got a result against Liverpool, I'd have been like, absolutely, we're going to lose that.
By the way-
It'd be very Chelsea to lose that.
Yes.
Where did that come from? That performance.
Ali, I have got no. We
I
are
was
such
here,
a
I was here
team.
on Tuesday.
was brilliant.
Benfica had the better chances, right? Right.
Yes.
Chelsea won the game.
4.
But weekend was brilliant.
Why do we? I don't understand. Why do they not do that every week? Why didn't you play? We were absolutely brilliant in that game from start to finish and deserved those 3 points.
Really enjoyed the game.
It's not about Chelsea though. It's about Ange.
Sorry. That was Ali's fault. That wasn't even my fault.
That was my fault.
The only problem I've got with Ange is that I look at the next 3 fixtures. Forest, I've got Chelsea at home.
Yeah.
Bournemouth away.
Yeah.
You don't even playing them away from home at the moment. And then Manchester United at home.
And they've got Porto in between that.
Exactly. 3 tough
in
games.
the Europa League.
Changed to a back 5 yesterday. That's not a good sign when you start playing a bit more defensive.
I know. At the same time, though, we'd be the very people, Gab, sitting here criticising them if they'd get beat. Had been beaten and hadn't changed. It'd have been same old. So at least he's tried to change something.
Still
I'm telling you right now. I mean, Newcastle deserve to win the game, but
no one expected Forest to win.
Is there no foul on Gibbs White?
Yeah.
I think it's a foul on Gibbs.
What I don't like, Olivia and Ali, is that there was a clip put up by a journalist yesterday evening, and it was quoted. Ange hasn't even acknowledged any of his players.
And
I didn't like it because he had before you put your 42-second clip up. And I don't like how people are trying to portray there's a problem with the players. There is no problem.
No,
Give the guy a chance. You know what I mean? He's 7 games in. I'm sure he'll get it right. Ange.
Yeah, but will he be given the time to get it right? I mean, I look at them and I think he's just got the same issues he had at Spurs, conceding 2 goals from set pieces against Midtjylland and 1 on the counter. It just feels like all of the issues are sort of just seeping through. And with those fixtures coming up, I just think it'll be very hard for Ange. He could lose all of them. He could lose to Chelsea, lose to Porto, lose to Bournemouth, and lose to United. That could be 11, and I'm not sure he'll be given that long. But anyway, that's Ange. Also on the back of the Sun, Van Dijk calls for COP unity. Van Dijk has urged Liverpool to stick together and show why they are Prem champions after the 3rd loss in the space of a week. They didn't deserve to. They deserved to lose to Palace. Obviously, the Galatasaray one was tough to take, but they deserve to lose to Chelsea. What is going wrong? What is the issue here at Liverpool at the moment? Because I thought, for their standards, they were poor against Chelsea on Saturday.
They were, by their own standards. But anyway, before we get any further, this is a tough league, right?
Yes.
I fancied Liverpool to win at the start, right? But when they lost, beg your pardon, when they won against Arsenal with a late free kick, there was something about Arsenal I looked at and I thought, I don't mind Arsenal, So it's going to be really difficult. Manchester City, I think there's a greater chance this year of all the teams taking points off the teams that you fancy to win it.
I need City to
You look
really
at Brighton, you look at Bournemouth, all the teams are more than capable. Well, that was excellent. We managed to get a wee bit of Chelsea in, which is...
That was you, Ali. I'm blaming you for that.
I'm expecting responsibility.
Chelsea radio.
Exactly. That was a look at today's back pages with Tesco Mobile for Business. Coming up, we're going to ask you a question. Is Jude Bellingham a problem? Or are the media creating the problem that isn't there? We will discuss that next. Guys, stay with us.
The Back Page Review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Got a side hustle baking bread? Improve your take-home dough with business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big 3 networks. For verification, see tescomobile.com/business.
some of the best off-camera anecdotes from recent years at the Ryder Cup. As caddy Billy Foster went to relieve himself at the Belfry, he noticed only one of the two cubicles had toilet paper. Shortly after he'd sat down, Tiger Woods went into the empty cubicle and realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, one up." Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina. Rory McIlroy overslept and was in danger of missing his Sunday tee time. Thankfully, travel organiser Erica Stoll sorted him a police escort, and 3 years later, McIlroy proposed. Scottish legend Sam Torrance tells many a yarn about the great Ballesteros. Apparently, Sevi would regularly give coaching clinics to his European teammates. When the same players asked for help a week later at the Italian Open, Sevi would tell them to Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
Right, 6:34. It's Monday the 6th of October. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning, and our good friends at Arnold Clark get £750 off any used electric car or indeed home charger now, Gabby, after Jude Bellingham was left out of the England squad. We're going to be asking the question this morning, is Jude Bellingham a problem? Why are we bringing this topic up to you? You might ask. Well, let's look at the evidence. Ollie Holt of the Mail has written about the difficulties Dad brings to camps, and Craig Hope has written about his attitude and whether he intimidates his teammates. However, when you're dealing with a player of this talent and capability and quality, do they get an automatic pass into the squad and team no matter what? So, is it up to Tuchel to get the best out of him and navigate these problems? Before you go, I would say yes, but carry on.
So, Ali, I think I've seen a lot of the media and some of the interviews to Thomas Tuchel last few days, and I was like, you are fishing for something that's not there. Mm-hmm. Thomas Tuchel come out and says, last camp, everyone was together. It was a very good camp, great results. So the first question to Thomas Tuchel, is that because Bellingham's not there? No, it's not. It's just that he's got a great group of players. Bellingham's not fully fit yet. On the weekend, he'd come on the 64th minute.
Yep.
Hasn't played 90 minutes yet. He's not ready to come into this camp. I'm not being funny. The games that we're playing, I think one's a friendly, is it, against Wales as well. You know what? Do some more training with Real Madrid and then get back to starting games and you'll be in the squad in November. Jude Bellingham is not a problem for this manager. Some of these journalists are trying to find a problem because they can't get close to Jude Bellingham, because they can't get access to him. Private guy. Leave the lad alone. 22 years of age, playing his football at Real Madrid. There is no problem with Thomas Tuchel, the players, or the England manager.
I think I'm looking at him. He came on at the weekend. He came off against Atletico Madrid. He came on against Espanyol the week before. So he's not starting and playing a full 90 minutes. I just think sometimes, right, as a Scotsman looking in at the England team and England setup, I cannot believe sometimes the negativity around your squad, the English squad, Gab. I can't believe it. It's like, and I know we do it, and I do it myself, But for example, when Thomas Tuchel picks a squad, the first thing we want to do
Yes.
is talk about the players that aren't in the squad for some reason.
Yes.
So straight away, before you move, before you kick a ball, that's negativity.
Agreed. And I look at the squad of players that he's picked and look at the midfielders. Elliot Anderson,
He's been different class.
Yes.
That would have been a story
of course.
if he hadn't been in it.
But look at the players that he's picked. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Bellingham walks in before him when fully fit.
Of course he does.
Declan Rice, yes, guaranteed starter. Jordan Henderson doing very well. Manager likes him. Morgan Gibbs-White, Declan Rice, I've said already. Morgan Rogers in that midfield role. Bellingham gets into that squad of players.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, Ali?
Oh, yeah.
But he's not fit. And I bet the manager, Thomas Tuchel and Bellingham, are probably laughing on the phone together about these journalists and saying, like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Oh, what are they like? They don't have a clue, do they, mate?
Gab, you're 100% right.
100%.
If Thomas Tuchel's doing his job efficiently, which you can guarantee Thomas Tuchel will be doing his job efficiently, he'll have spoken to Jude Bellingham. You know, 100%. He said, Jude, by the way, I'm not going to, you won't be in the squad for whatever reasons. We can do without you. You need to get back playing. You need a bit of rest, whatever it may be.
Yes.
The discussion will have been had between the two men, so that's for sure. That is
100%.
absolutely
Because,
for sure.
as well, Ali, you probably say, you know what? What happens during international break for players that haven't played much football? The club arranges
It's as if-
behind closed doors games.
Yeah,
So he's probably, you know what? Stay around Madrid and try and get 2 or 3 90 minutes in a 2-week space.
yeah,
Get yourself back to fitness. That's what they do.
yeah.
I know because I used to want to run away to to Dubai
Yeah.
and I had to play these in-house games. So the manager's obviously in contact with these players, no problems.
And the other thing as well is, of course, as happens generally speaking with England, the record in qualifying campaigns is nothing short of magnificent, right? It is. You can say what you like, it's magnificent. So he's in a position where he can kind of pick and choose.
Of course.
No matter who the opposition is, because they'll have enough. And I thought the previous game where they played, not Croatia, was it Serbia?
Serbia.
Yeah, I thought
Comfortable.
And they're excellent because the game before it, they were wanting more. It was a 1-0 or 2-0 victory. We should be doing better. Then they go and have a great level of performance. There's a kind of mania and a madness that surrounds
A hunger for problems
Yeah.
when there isn't any. And like playing during the era of, you know, Wayne Rooney and just before that David Beckham, they always pick a player, the media. And growing up, it was David Beckham. Okay, let's put him down. It was Wayne Rooney. Let's find a way to put him down. We pick on our superstars, and we're trying to do it again with Jude Bellingham. The manager come out, you know, broken English, didn't say the right thing about his mom. Gets upset with Jude Bellingham sometimes because of the way he's on the pitch. But
I know, and all of a sudden that's a headline.
yes,
I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, okay, maybe it didn't sound great, but I'm putting that down to
of course.
kind of language barrier thing. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not going to come out, a coach or a manager is not going to come out
No way.
and make a kind of public attack like that on somebody. I just think sometimes the desire and maybe even not the desire, the need for England to win a major tournament by sections of the media and the support completely blinkers them, and they just go absolutely they go crazy for it.
What I couldn't get, Ali, is like after that happened, it was Bellingham puts players off because he's so his anger on the pitch and his frustrations and he's throwing his arms up and this and that. Maybe because he just wants to win something with his country. Maybe because he's grown up and he's watched a country with top players not win. Underachieve. And he's got that edge to him. I'll repeat this many times. I went to a game against England, played at Wembley, I think it was, against Ukraine. Probably 2-3 years ago, Ali. And he was screaming at Henderson and screaming at Harry Kane at 19 years of age.
Yeah.
So he's not just something that's new. He's got that bite to him. There's no problem with the players. Jude Bellingham was voted England's Player of the Year. This is a player, Ali.
I know, mate.
22 years of age, Ali. Already played 41 games in the Championship, 4 goals, 2 assists. 92 games in the Bundesliga, 12 goals, 16 assists. 63 games in La Liga, 28 goals, 15 assists. 44 caps for his country, 6 goals. And there's people out there saying that we might be a better side without Jude Bellingham. Give your head a wobble.
No, I agree with you.
Please.
I agree with you, but a different argument would be I don't think for a minute England would be a better side without Jude Bellingham. However, I think if Thomas Tuchel thought that England would be a better side without Jude Bellingham, I think he'd be well within his rights to leave him out.
Of course.
And I also think he would leave him out.
Oh, yes.
I think Thomas Tuchel...
He hasn't got a long contract.
No, I just mentioned the same thing to you about whether it's Russell Martin or whoever it is as a manager, right? Mm-hmm. There's problems will come your way no matter what level of management or coaching you're in. Problems will come your way and you've got to deal with them. But when in dealing with them, I'm of the opinion you cannot do anything that will affect the team. The team is the most important thing.
Yep.
You're duty bound to do what's best for that team and its support. So if he felt that he can, for a game, for example, I don't know, whoever they're playing, France, if he thinks he can come up with formation and the best way of winning that game against France,
No problem.
not to play Jude Bellingham, no problem at all.
But there's people saying that he shouldn't be in the squad.
That's nonsense.
Because he might have a bit of bite about him that makes these players, they can't handle it.
That tells you more. If that's the case,
exactly.
That tells you more about the rest of the squad and the players than it does about Jude Bellingham.
I mixed out.
Would you get away with that in your day? You'd have been, come here,
you.
22-year-old
I'd enjoy that.
I'll have a wee word with you. Come here.
I'd enjoy that. And I mixed out, Ally. 47 games in the Champions League, 13 goals, 13 assists. So this is a player who's played that much football, playing for Real Madrid, biggest club in the world. And we have a country, certain people are saying, I'm not sure if Bellingham should be part of it, because he might raise his voice during games and players can't handle it. They'll play within themselves. Well, those players shouldn't be playing for their country.
Do you know what's
they're not going to win a World Cup for us.
Do you know what's amazing, Gab, right? England, I can't, and I keep saying it, I cannot remember England having a squad, a group of players like this, right? Particularly in forward areas. So are we actually talking about right now an England squad that doesn't have Bellingham in it, doesn't have Foden in it, doesn't have Grealish in it?
No.
Is Palmer in it?
No, he's injured. Palmer's injured.
I knew Palmer would be injured, right? So have a think about that.
Yeah.
Have a think about those players not being in the squad. But I've said it all along, Gab, I still think the problem with England that getting over the final hurdle is defensively.
Defensively, yeah. But what I will hope is that Konsa has been outstanding, by the way.
Yeah.
The last few seasons, Gahey has been outstanding. If he can just settle for those two as the two centre halves, Ally. Reece James is playing the best football I've seen in recent years. Looking fit. Doesn't like his carrying a nickel. Doesn't like he's going to come off injured.
Looks hungry.
So those three are sorted. Then do you look at Livramento's out, but does he come in at left back because of his pace and his 1v1 ability? Lewis Skelly's not playing as much as you would like. So 3 out of the back 4 for me are sorted.
Yeah.
If they continue to play throughout the season. So defence is looking better than it has maybe over the last couple of tournaments.
Some squad, Gabby.
Looking at it, Al. Eze, Bowen, Gordon, Kane, Rashford, Saka, Watkins, yeah.
Oh, see, you got to know. They don't give me anything here.
I know. But Madueke, if he was fit and available, Bowen will probably miss out on that.
Seriously. What a squad.
Oh, no.
What a squad. Do you know who I've been really impressed with?
Who?
Really, Elliot Anderson. I mentioned it.
Oh, yeah.
Elliot Anderson.
He was even good yesterday. Even though they lost, he was good.
I don't mind him, He's up and down, he plays. Where did I see him? Might have been at the Arsenal, I think I saw him. Well, there you are. The game in Serbia, excuse me, I think it was.
Yes.
I thought Madueke were excellent. And then the two of them, when they faced each other on the Saturday, I thought were brilliant.
Yes, very good.
Magic. Interesting, pal. Yes. Very, very
good
interesting.
Chat, mate.
Enjoyed that. Now, coming up, we're going to turn attention back to Gabby's best pal, Jack Grealish. Good goal yesterday. You take it, don't you?
Oh, all day.
Take it all day, man.
See the relief?
Just block it.
The relief now. Scoring.
What's Jack Shilling at Everton? We're going to discuss that next, Gabby. Yes, the boys are back this afternoon with Drive. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Now, this man responded to his England snub in the best possible way yesterday.
And Everton have turned this game on its head, and it's Jack Grealish who's got it. And just listen to the roar here from those Everton fans who were so frustrated at half-time.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. Now, Olivia's back with us. Morning again, Olivia. How are you?
Morning, yeah, good, thank you.
Good.
Morning. Yeah, Jack Grealish, obviously, you know, you've been speaking about the England squad and speaking about Thomas Tuchel. Listen, I'm Thomas Tuchel's #1 fan. That man can do no wrong in my eyes.
At the moment.
However, yeah, at the moment. However, obviously Jack Grealish not being called up to the England squad. He's obviously said after Everton's win against Palace that, you know, it's not that deep. It's not that big of a deal. But what more does he have to do this season to get called up?
No, right, I'm with you. But we've just been having this discussion, particularly with England squads. We focus on people that aren't in the
Probably,
squad
yeah.
far more than we do the people that are in the squad. But I'm with you. I think Jack's move has been a breath of fresh air for everybody involved, and it's great. And all I would say is it'd just be a matter of time before he's back in the squad, the way he's performing. Yeah,
if he carries on, I think is the problem, Gabby, though, that Anthony Gordon plays left wing, that Marcus Rashford, who's smashing it at Barcelona,
Absolutely.
you can't take.
He said that.
Yeah, this is the issue, is that, and even Jack said that. Jack said there are a lot of players in my position. He understands, but surely if he carries on, is he got to score more goals? What else has he got to do?
I think he's got to outperform one of those three players: Eze, Gordon, and Rashford. Yeah. Listen, it's a long season. There's an international break next month. There's one in March as well. So he's just got to continue doing what he's doing. And you might not even make the one next month, or might make the one in March if he goes on a run of scoring more goals and still getting his assists.
Bellingham, Foden, Cole, Palmer.
I know.
Madueke. Where do we want to go?
Lord. Good luck. Good luck, Thomas.
It cannot. It's impossible to pick everybody. Absolutely impossible. I mean, it really is. I think it's an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah.
And
we're lucky
in that department. It's amazing.
He's one of them players you want in your squad, isn't he, Jack?
See, the one thing about Jack, see the one, and you guys tell me I'm wrong, I think the one differing thing that Jack's got against the majority of those guys, I think Jack will win you more free kicks high up the pitch in dangerous areas.
And also, Gabby, when you look at Jack Grealish, he seems to be a fan favourite wherever he goes. You look at Villa, everyone loved him.
Yes.
City, even though he wasn't playing, when he did play, they absolutely loved him. Even now, it's taken 7 games for the Everton fans to fall in love with him. But someone that knows him so well, you know, everyone seems to love him wherever he goes.
Because I think, forget on the pitch, off the pitch, he's a likeable guy, generous. The amount of times I've heard what he's done for people off the pitch as well, charities. And then on the pitch, he's just a joy to watch, isn't he? Like Ali says, he'll win fouls, he will drive forward with that ball. The amount of chances that Dewsbury Hall's going to get this season by Jack running down left-hand side and picking out a third man running midfielder. I remember the Euros that we had and games at Wembley, and the fans were crying out for him. David Beckham was contacting him. Like, do you know what I mean? Everyone was obsessed with Jack Grealish, and he's still got so much to offer.
See, the one thing is, well, you know him better than any of us, right? I wouldn't claim to know him at all, but I would say hello to him, right? Do you know what he is? Away from the pitch, which is important as well. I think he's one of the few players nowadays that players can relate to.
Normal, just completely normal.
Because he's normal. You know, he'll make mistakes. He's human.
Yes.
He talks to people. You mentioned the charity work. I see him. He's fantastic with the kids.
Of course
fantastic. And all these things. Now, that shouldn't get him in the England team. Right.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something, it goes a long way if you're a football fan of any club looking at somebody going, well, clearly that 100 grand a week's not going to his head.
Times that by 3, but yeah. I don't think you get out of bed for 100
Oh man, I like. But do you know the point I'm trying to make?
And his interviews, even yesterday, watching his interviews, and you come on talkSPORT last year, and he's having banter with Alan about his clothes and this, and it just seems like normal.
Well, Gabby, took the words right out of my mouth. Because actually, speaking after the win yesterday against Crystal Palace, obviously Jack Grealish got the Man of the Match award, but he actually said in his post-match that perhaps someone else should have got it.
Yeah, of course, that's what you want to do, you know, as a winger. I have 1 goal now and 4 assists in the Premier League this season, so that's what I want to do, you know, and like I says, it was difficult, you know, to do that today against such a good team. They have unbelievable players. I think Adam Wharton today, I can see the Man of the Match award there. I think that's coming to me, but I think it should have gone to Adam Wharton because, in my opinion, he was the best player on the pitch today.
So I actually would probably go as far as saying, even though we're all, you know, Jack Grealish probably should have got in the England squad, when I look at the midfielders that have got in the England squad, in particular, Morgan Gibbs-White and Morgan Rogers, who, by the way, are brilliant players.
Yes. Yep.
Brilliant players. However, this season they haven't been. How Adam Wharton is not in that England squad.
That's the one.
That is the one
That's
for
the
me.
one
Because
for me.
Jude coming back from injury, Cole Palmer's out. I get that from Thomas Tuchel. I do not get Adam Wharton not being in that
Why's
England
Loftus
squad.
cheeking it?
I don't watch enough Italian football, right?
No,
but I don't think he's even been starting games for AC Milan.
No, it's very odd.
I think you make a really valid point. I think that's the biggest story of the lot, right? Obviously, Bellingham's the biggest name, so that's where everybody automatically goes. Then Grealish, a big name, Foden, Palmer, all these guys. It's probably easier just to forget something like Adam Wharton, but that, for me, would be the biggest surprise.
I go as far as saying, behind Harry Kane, for me, Adam Wharton should be the first name on that team sheet. There is no one better in a number 6, because the issue is that with Jude Bellingham, you've also got Cole Palmer that wants to play the 10. You've also got Phil Foden that wants to play a 10. You couldn't pick between those 3 if they're all on their day who Thomas Tuchel was going to go with.
Yes.
You know, Saka's up there, but a defensive midfielder is so important if you want to win big trophies. If we want to win the World Cup, you need a defensive mid.
Yeah, but at least be in the squad. So you've got options against maybe the Frances and the Brazils. You might say, you know what, Declan Rice.
He's not 6.
Declan Rice, Wharton, Declan Rice, and Anderson as a 3 in the midfield. You might be like, okay, a bit more defensive minded in games. Then Bellingham might come off the left, maybe. But like, it's not having in the squad is bizarre.
Wild.
Yes.
Okay.
He's ex-Chelsea managers.
So there we are.
Nah, I love Thomas Tuchel. I agree with every decision Thomas Tuchel's made, actually. I changed my mind.
We've just spent the whole morning talking about players who aren't in the squad. Okay. Now, that's still to come this morning on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
Yep, that was great. I enjoyed that. After Big Ange Postecoglou's nightmare start at the City Ground, former Forest captain Stuart Pearce will be joining us to discuss where Forest exactly go from here. Recently retired England cricketer Chris Woakes will be with us later on the show to discuss his career and what's to come next for him. That indeed was our look ahead this morning with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
For every good signing a club makes, there's bound to be a few that don't work out. And Man United have certainly had their fair share of those, especially since the end of their golden age under Sir Alex Ferguson. Here are just some of the Red Devils' worst signings since Fergie. First up, Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez joined United from Arsenal back in 2018 and became the highest paid player in the Prem. He'd averaged almost 1 goal every 2 games for the Gunners, but in his 45 games for Man United, he only managed 5 goals. Not what you want from a star striker. Next up, Radamel Falcao. He earned himself the nickname the Tiger for his sheer efficiency and the way he used to pounce upon the mistakes of defenders. But at Man United, he was way more pussycat than Tiger, to be honest. All he managed in 29 Man United games was 4 goals. Moving on, things couldn't have gone much worse for Jadon Sancho at Man United. Yeah, it would have been hard to outdo his Borussia Dortmund form, but 12 goals in 83 games is not great. Things got worse after a public fallout with manager Erik ten Hag. Sancho said he was being made a scapegoat. Ten Hag said there'd been a discipline issue. It all ended up with Sancho going back to Germany. Next, Erik ten Hag probably thought he was being smart in sticking to what he knew when he signed Antony from his former club Ajax. But the £86 million Brazilian hasn't really been able to hack it in the Prem. Chances are Antony's Man United days are numbered. Next, the curse of the Man United number 7 shirt. Not an easy act following Ronaldo, Cantona, Beckham and George Best, but Memphis Depay was another striker who was apparently allergic to scoring for United. He scored just 7 in 53 appearances, a huge letdown since he'd helped PSV win the Dutch league just a season before joining. Last one, Angel Di Maria was set to be United's landmark signing when he joined in 2014, but one season later he was already on his way out. 4 goals in 32 games was just not good enough, given he'd broken the British record transfer fee when he signed. And those are just a few examples. To be honest, the list could go on and on. Unfortunately, that's probably why Man United haven't won the Prem for a while, and why it might take a few more years before they're in contention again.
Would you come into that category? I saw you giving our world famous newsreader a bit of stick there, Nick. Are you under middle aged? Are you? I'm certainly. I think I'm at the over end of middle aged.
I'm 39 in.
Oh, you're not there yet.
In 7 days, Ali. So I think I'm okay. I think over 40s, I'm middle aged. So
What age do you become aged then?
Over 65. So you're 63, is it? Yeah. Alan Brazil is very aged.
Correct, mate. Correct. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Ally and Gabby and Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals, of course, guaranteed. Now, on the way for you this morning, what a show we've got lined up. Former Forest skipper Stuart Pearce. Pearce is going to be telling us just what exactly is going on at Forest after 7 games. It is a little bit early, but we'll hear what Pearce has got to say. We'll find out why legendary England bowler and Gabby's mate Chris Woakes had decided to retire from cricket. Former Premier League referee Chris Foy will try and explain new statistics that apparently show that VAR is getting better. Ain't buying it, Chris, but I'm looking forward to you trying to explain that to Gabby and I. And we will, of course, be reacting to all the fallout from the Premier League weekend. Before all of that, though, Russell Martin has been sacked at Rangers, and the relationship between him and the fans definitely couldn't be described as simply the best during his short period at Ibrox.
There's been a fragility in this club for a long, long time. The precursor to change is pain. The club's bounced around with different ideas, different plans, really been hinged on emotion, making decisions just on a quick reaction.
10 games, 3 wins, worst defeat in Europe 6-0 in about 30 odd years. The man's going to take us deeper into a hole that we're going to struggle to get out this season.
Russell, the fans believe they were quite clear that they would like you to resign and to go. It's overwhelming now from the support. No wins in 5, worst league start in many a year. The fans want you to go.
I don't think many of them wanted me here in the first place, so...
Will you resign?
No.
I'm telling you now, there is worse to come and the nail will be in the coffin. I've had enough and Martin needs to leave that club alone.
We have given up on you, we don't want you here. How can that atmosphere change then without you leaving to allow the players to have a different atmosphere?
I don't know, we'll have to wait and see.
He's managed at clubs like MK Dons and Swansea, and he was a loanee at Rangers. Russell Martin's, whoa, bang. bang average.
Ultimately, I'm the one in charge of the team, so I have to accept responsibility, and we haven't had enough wins on days like today. It's been a frustrating period.
Russell Martin. Russell who? I'd have preferred Bob Martin.
Right, Darren, just been on already. Darren says, are you not reading text this morning? Darren, we are. My machine wasn't working in front of me, mate. I apologise.
Electrical problem.
You guys are so important in this show. Jeff's right. Jeff, get it right. You're part of this show, man. I feel as though I've let you down. Sorry, but we're back up and running, mate. So, Russell Martin leaves Rangers after just 123 days. 5 wins, 17 games, 8th in the SPL, hammered in the Champions League, and 2 losses from 2 in the Europa League. Rangers fans want to hear from you guys. Give us a call, 03717 223344, and I'm going to find out who's in the running as we're joined now by talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crookie. A very good morning. How are you, first of all, mate?
Crookie.
Good morning, boys. Yeah, all good down here on the south coast. It's a bit early though. I'm normally sort of an 8 a.m. breakfast booking. 7 a.m. is just a little bit on the wrong side of the clock for me.
Double pay though, Crookie.
Hold on a minute, Crookie. My heart is bleeding for you here. Try 5 o'clock, getting out your kip, getting out your scratching at 5, mate.
I don't know how you do it, to be fair, boys. I take my hat off to you. Nice baseball cap, Ali, by the way. I'm not sure it's going to catch on.
It's just because my hair's such a state this morning, Cookie. I just stuck a hat on by it. Now, listen, mate, no major surprise, really. Let's be honest about it. Russell Martin losing his job. You know, we can talk about the unsavoury scenes. I don't think they did anybody too many favours. But sadly, you know, the dismissal, certainly not a surprise.
No, and I think actually the Rangers board, the hierarchy there, probably have to take a little bit of responsibility for what we saw after the game yesterday, because the atmosphere has been turning toxic for quite some time, hasn't it? And I've got to say, having got to know Russell Martin reasonably well when he was down at Southampton, I felt sorry for him by the end with the abuse that he was having to put up with, and the fact it was pretty clear that this was to be the inevitable outcome. As Russell said himself, there was a big section of Rangers fans who probably didn't welcome him with open arms in the first place, but it's difficult to make a case for keeping him. You've mentioned the stats already, 17 games in charge, only 5 victories, back-to-back defeats in Europe, and it's an alien situation to see Rangers languishing so far down the Scottish Premiership table. But I do think the board need to take responsibility as well. Kevin Thelwell has gone in there as director of football. The whole recruitment process in terms of appointing a manager was a mess as far as I was concerned. In the summer at one stage, they were all in on Steven Gerrard. He wasn't keen to return. That's then how they pivoted to Russell Martin. And I think I'm right in saying they signed 13 players in the summer, and none of them have pulled up too many trees. Chamiti in particular, I think, should take a lot of the spotlight just for the amount of money that Rangers paid for a player whose goal record didn't justify the fee.
Well, Cookie, sorry, mate, let me fire into him.
Oh, go on, get him.
Cookie, you're absolutely right. I mean, the money that's been spent, I've been going on about it, 8.5, 9 million on Chermiti and Cortez, 4.5 million, Ant-Man, 4.5 million. But you mentioned recruitment. But another thing that's probably wound the fans up a little bit is Kevin Thelwell. I think the appointment, is he not appointed his son not come in as one of the in charge of recruitment, unless I'm mistaken?
He has. That was something I referenced on our show on Friday between 10 and 1, that, yeah, Kevin Thelwell has appointed his son, and I'm not sure that when there's a lot of criticism coming your way anyway, that is necessarily a particularly smart move. And I think this is a massive test of Thelwell, because as much as you can level the accusation that maybe Russell Martin underestimated the size of the job that he was taking on, I think Thelwell has as well. This is an institution up in Scotland. You know, Glasgow either bleeds blue or it bleeds green and white, and I'm just not sure that Russell Martin necessarily grasped that, and Kevin Thelwell, to me, doesn't seem to either.
Crookie, moving on now to Nottingham Forest manager Ange Postecoglou. The pressure's on now. It's been a bit of a disastrous start, hasn't it? But do you think he has time on his hands?
Do you know what, Gabs? I think this can go either way. Genuinely, I think it's a 50-50 call. We've got this 2-week break now for internationals, which historically is a bit of a graveyard for Premier League managers. And it was fascinating because I reached out to Forest on Friday just to sort of get a grasp of what the owner was thinking after the defeat to Michelin the night before in the Europa League, and there were chants of you don't know what you're doing and you're getting sacked in the morning. And I was expecting pushback from sources at Forest saying, no, Ange is our man. It's very early in his tenure. We knew that a change in playing style would have teething problems. That wasn't really the message I got back. The message was the owner will survey what the fans are saying. It will probably take into account social media and what the media are saying as well, and make a decision from there. It wasn't a terrible Nottingham Forest performance at Newcastle. It was always going to be a difficult game, but it wasn't a great display either. And already I think you look at Ange Postecoglou's demeanour in the press conference afterwards, that little spat that he had with a journalist, I think he is feeling the strain. Would it surprise me if they pull the plug after only 7 games? I've got to be honest, it wouldn't.
Do you know some, Crookie? I think the one thing that that's pretty relevant and worth mentioning with the 2 managers that we've been speaking about this morning, whether they like it or not, but there has been a vocal side of the home support not keen on either of them being appointed manager.
Yeah, and I guess it's a dangerous road to go down in some ways if you start hiring and firing based on the opinion of the fan base. However, I do think, going back to Rangers, Russell was fighting a losing battle from day one, and I think it could be similar for Big Ange, because Nuno Espirito Santo was so popular. The fans obviously didn't want to see him go, so Postecoglou almost had to hit the ground running. And he's had chances. You know, as much as Newcastle is a difficult game, Swansea in the League Cup when you're 2-0 up isn't a difficult game to win. Midtjylland at home in the Europa League is one you simply have to win. And then I look at what he was saying in the press conference after, boys, and I think one of the things he said was, I don't have to be here. I could be on my couch watching at home.
Yeah.
Not sure that will go down well with Forest fans, because he's not doing them a favour by taking this job. And he also mentioned it was always going to be a fight. Did it really have to be a fight? Because this is a Forest team who, for a long part of last season, looked like they would qualify for the Champions League. They reached an FA Cup semi-final. They spent big in the summer. This is a good team. They certainly shouldn't be losing games with the regularity they are. And then you look at his overall record, Ange Postecoglou. I think it's 30 defeats from his last 49 in the Premier League. I think there's a big body of evidence now to say that he's struggling to put points on the board.
Okay, Crookie, thanks very much, mate. Appreciate your time this morning. Crookie. You have a good day and a good week, mate. Now, big thanks, obviously, to talkSPORT Chief Football Correspondent Alex Crook there. We have, unfortunately, some very sad breaking news, and Nick Ellerby has more on it. Nick.
Yeah, morning, Ali. I'm, sorry to bring you this morning, but important we talk about it. Lewis Moody, the rugby union player who had 71 caps with England. He was a Lion in 05. He won the 2003 Rugby World Cup with England, also 2 European titles with Leicester. As revealed in a BBC interview, he's been diagnosed with motor neurone disease. Now, we know rugby players, some have been affected with this. You know Doddy Weir yourself.
Absolutely.
Rob Burrow in Rugby League as well, who died last year. Now, Lewis said in this interview with the BBC he noticed some shoulder weakness in the gym. He doesn't feel unwell in himself, but he's obviously quite emotional in this interview, telling his mum and his kids, he said, was the most difficult thing. His son Dylan plays as a keeper for Southampton under-18s in England as well. And motor neurone disease, we know it can progress very quickly. Treatment only really slows down deterioration. It actually kills a third of people within a year and over half within 2 years. Lewis Moody says at the moment he's focused on enjoying his life, spending time with his family, and he's remaining positive.
Oh, Nick, horrendous news, mate.
Terrible.
I mean, a great friend of the station, great friend of the show. That's unbelievable, it really is. Of course, it's written down here, a legend of a rugby man. Comes on the show frequently, and all our care and support goes out to him and his loved ones at this moment in time. Terrible, terrible news, yes. Nick. Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast, Ally and Gabby this morning. Right, 7:20, Monday the 6th of October. We're going to head straight to the phone line. 03717 223344 is the number to call. Rangers fans, what's next for the club? Tom's a Rangers fan and he has dialed that number. Tom, good morning.
Good morning, Tom.
Morning, lads. How are we today? Okay?
We're fine. How are you this morning, Tom? Not the biggest surprise, I wouldn't have thought, with the news.
No. I did say last week that I thought before the end of the international break we'll be away. But my point is quite simply, is that as a Rangers supporter for many years, my argument here is we need a manager, and the most important thing for me this manager needs, his asset must be that he knows what Rangers are and what Rangers are about.
I agree.
Tom, perfect example. But there's one man waiting on us, and they need to go and get him, and that's Muscat. He's got 3 games to go in the league. He's winning, and that's what we need at Ibrox. It's simple.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. In fact, I totally agree with what you've said regarding somebody that knows the club now. But the follow-up question from me to you, Tom, would be, I'm making the suggestion by your comments that you think the previous manager didn't. Do you think the owners do? Do you think the owners...
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, they've came in here. You've got a guy that came from Manchester, Manchester United. He wasn't very successful down there. It's been said before on your radio, it's an institution we have here. We've got fans who worship the club. Worship the club. That is their life. And I can say a lot of my life as Rangers as well. But we need people in who know the club. They know what it's about. They know what the fans want. Now, if we go out trying and we don't win, that's fine. But what we have now is just an embarrassment to our club. Absolute embarrassment.
I think you need people around the club that know the club as well, Tom. Okay, mate, listen, appreciate the call. Thanks very much. Olivia's back. Olivia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're in good form.
Very well.
We're in good form.
Good. I'm here to talk about the Premier League title race and whether that result for Liverpool, obviously losing against Chelsea and of course losing against Palace, has blown it wide open with Arsenal now sitting top of the league. Well, on Final Word yesterday, Alan Pardew was asked by host Majestic who he thinks can challenge for the title this season, and Alan Pardew chucked one of his old clubs in the mix. Have a listen.
Newcastle just picking up the speed a little bit, and they got Wissa to come back as well, who's going to be a massive help to them in terms of forward momentum. I think Newcastle definitely are in the shout for perhaps even winning the league. I know that it's hard to say that.
Whoa, Mr. Pardew. You can't just drop a bomb like that on the show. You're tipping Newcastle to possibly win the league?
Yeah, I think they're definitely a contender. I do. When I look at the other teams, if I was Eddie with the squad he's got and the momentum of he's got the crowd firmly on his side. I'm talking about the manager now. He's got enough tools in his little kit bag there.
Right. I'm just going to remind everybody that we're 7 games into the season, right? Okay, I don't know. We're allowed to get carried away. Let's go crazy. I like Newcastle. I think they were unlucky to not get anything against Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think they were unlucky not to get in against Arsenal.
Mm.
I'm not sure they won in the league.
I think we need more management in on Sunday evenings to be around the show and see what's going on.
Yeah. to monitor what they're allowed to say and what they're not.
What are they eating before they go on air?
Yeah. Let's just give some context. So, Newcastle are currently 11th in the Premier League table. They've won 2 out of 7 games, and only Forest and Wolves have scored fewer than them. That means also
but they are better than that.
No, they are.
In his defence, they are far better than that.
But if Newcastle are in the title race, are Man United, are Sunderland, are Everton, are Chelsea, are Palace, are Bournemouth?
No.
No. Listen, I like Newcastle, and I would back them in a one-off game against anyone.
Sure would I.
Any game, especially at St James's Park.
Yep.
Their squad does
way.
not have it in them.
No.
To go, they're in the Champions League this season as well. I think it's top 4 their ceiling.
Well, what are we saying here? Are we saying there's only 3 teams capable of winning it? Is that what we're saying? Liverpool, Arsenal,
Realistically,
Manchester
yes,
City?
I think so.
100%.
Yeah.
And I don't think Newcastle can get top 4. I look at top 4 and I say Arsenal, Liverpool, City and Chelsea will be, I don't know what order, will be the top 4 for me. Newcastle, Champions League football will take a lot out of their squad. Look at Wissa's injuries.
What about...
They get an injury to
you sound as though very much you're ruling out third place Tottenham at this moment in time.
Yeah,
Yes, I am.
of course we are.
I am, yeah, I am. I don't think Spurs have got enough. Listen, to get 14 points...
Wait a minute, hold on, before we go any further.
Yeah.
You've just said Newcastle on the day could beat MD.
Yeah.
Surely Tottenham are in the exact same
of course, yeah, but Champions League football for them as well.
Well, they battered Manchester City.
Yeah, but they do that every year. Like that is like a weird... Every club has it. Like Chelsea have it with Man United. Could never beat them. Spurs are just that's what they do with City. They just beat them. But I wouldn't back Spurs to win a one-off game against most teams, to be honest.
They weren't good against Wolves.
They were awful.
They weren't great against Leeds on the weekend. That could have easily been a draw. So I don't fancy Spurs top 4 now.
Bournemouth, no staying there, no chance. No,
but I think they finished top 7. Bournemouth.
Bournemouth are... I mean, I watched that game I was there on Friday night.
Yeah.
And I did admittedly watch the second half from inside the interview rooms because I was not sitting in that wind and rain anymore. However, Bournemouth in that second half... They're just relentless. They don't stop, and
they lost both centre backs.
They lost about 5, and their keeper. They lost like
Kirkers.
Yeah,
I know.
2 centre backs went. Kirkers went. Keeper went.
Back 4, back 5,
and they look better.
That's incredible.
Talk to me about Semenyo, though.
Oh, he's tremendous.
Can we just say like
absolutely
best
tremendous.
left winger in the league. Best left winger in the league.
I like the centre forward as well.
Yeah,
Evan Nielsen.
I like him.
So apparently Semenyo is a number 9.
Yeah,
I don't mind him.
But he's got everything, Ali. He's quick, he's skillful, both feet, he's strong. He's everything. Even the goal he scored, the second one, the counter attack. The desire to get there, edge of the box. I'm going to get there. Gets a nice finish at the end. What a player! Yeah,
and Bournemouth I think like you say, top 7. They'll fall off a little bit, admittedly, like they did last season.
I think if Bournemouth finished top 7, it's remarkable.
It is, yeah. Especially with the players they lost in the... I mean, the biggest bit of business they did was holding on to Semenyo.
Yes.
Because they will... I'm sorry, Bournemouth fans, you will not be holding on for him for much longer. I think next summer, I think he'll be off. And he could go to any team. Right now, I look at left wing in the league, and it's the position where no one... Like, City, no. Arsenal, no.
Liverpool,
Chelsea, no. Liverpool, Gakpo and Ekitike can play out there. But really, there is all of the clubs open for someone like Antoine Semenyo, and he would be a steal for any club that goes and gets him.
So the main thing we're taking out this piece is you two are officially writing Newcastle and Tottenham off. Have I got that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
From a title.
Are you not, Ali? Okay, are you not? Yeah, you are. Come on.
You must have a Newcastle game coming up.
Yeah, you going to are you doing? Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's Sunderland though. No.
For the title.
I take your point. I mean, I'm winding the Perry up, attempting to wind the Perry up.
I
think Newcastle, Tottenham could easily win a cup.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll win the league.
I think it's, I do think Arsenal are probably best placed at the moment. But I think this year we will get a title race, which last year we didn't.
No, I mean, you think about it. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we're sitting here saying, "Well, look at Liverpool; they're going to be unstoppable because they haven't dropped a point and they haven't really get going yet."
Two results,
and then bang, it's amazing.
But what's crazy about Arsenal is Odegaard goes off injured, and no one's really going to talk about it.
Not bothered.
Because Zubimendi comes on, Declan Rice goes further forward, which suits him. And Arsenal better with Rice further forward.
And Eze in the 10.
I like Marino, by the way.
Yeah.
Right, we need to go to a break. Coming up, we turn our attention to Liverpool and whether or not they have a problem with Mo Salah.
Cricket balls are red, baseballs are white, American footballs are brown, and tennis balls are yellow. We don't even think about it really, but the story behind the tennis ball is actually quite interesting and even involves Sir David Attenborough. I know, here's the tale. Tennis has its roots in 12th century France when people used to make balls from all sorts. Cork, wool, chalk, animal fur and even human hair. Uniformity was found centuries later when people started making balls out of something called vulcanized rubber, invented in the US. But the balls kept on breaking, so a British lawyer, who also loved tennis, suggested they put a flannel covering on the outside, and thus the tennis ball as we know it was born. One problem, it was either white or black. And when the controller of BBC Two, Sir David Attenborough, decided Wimbledon would be shown in colour on the BBC in 1967, no one could actually see the balls on telly. So the International Tennis Federation went away and created a new colour called Optic Yellow, which would show up without the need for a 4K LED display. Not that anyone had that in the 1960s, of course. Since then, all tennis balls have been covered in that material and have their trademark colour for that exact reason. Amateur tennis players and dogs worldwide are forever grateful. You could say the ITF aced it.
First thing I'm doing is thanking you very much for my coffee.
Anytime.
And thanks very much for letting me get into your wee paste.
You deserve it, and you deserve the world, mate. Especially you're taking us all out for food on Thursday, Glasgow.
Yes. Sati doesn't know it yet, but I need to give him a call. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Ally and Gabby, and our friends at Arnold Clark get £750 off any used electric car or home charger now. It's not been the best of weeks for champions Liverpool. 2 defeats in the league And of course, another in the Champions League. Problems are seriously rising for Arne Slot. One man who's at the heart of the problem is Mo Salah, who is seriously struggling to find his form. talkSPORT's Tony Cascarino. Well, Big Cass slammed his performance against Chelsea.
Mo Salah was as poor as I've ever seen him yesterday. Many times he gave away the ball, struggled, and it couldn't. It looked like he couldn't hit a barn door. We're talking about a guy who's got an unbelievable amount of goals for Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah,
looked like yesterday he couldn't hit a barn door. And, you know, he had 2 or 3 occasions he comes in on his left foot and you think, you know, maybe the keeper will make a save or he might, you know, he can stick him in the top corner, Mo. He's done that numerous times. Hit it way over the bar. Done that about 2 or 3 times.
Well, he did, Cass. Watched it, couldn't believe it. I was very, very surprised. And also Liverpool's Danny Murphy, ex-Liverpool Danny Murphy, has also written about Mo and his lack of defending perhaps becoming an issue for Liverpool. First thing I've got to say is this, Gab, right? If there's anybody out there on the planet that probably deserves to be cut a little bit of slack for not maintaining the form that he's shown us for years and years, because he has been sensational, right? He has been fantastic. But you're absolutely right. Cass is right. We're all right. It's happening in front of our eyes. There's been not just a kind of drop in form. I think the problem is there's been a dramatic drop in form. Where do you sit on it? I mean, it's actually really, really surprising to see, I think, the drop in his overall play. I didn't think he was capable of giving that level of performance.
I think the defensive part is right, because the amount of times Cucurella's going forward and he's 2v1 on Conor Bradley on that side of Garnacho, and Salah sort of like tries to press a little bit, then just stops and relax, like we've seen Messi do time and time again over his career. And Liverpool can't afford to be a man down defensively. But as well, Ali, you can tell when Mo Salah's not at it, because defenders are starting to, all right, go on then.
Fancy it.
Yeah, try and run me.
Fancy it.
Cucurella, Badiashile, we're getting really tight to him. Go on then. Try and run me on the outside. Whenever he tried, took the ball off him. You know, Cucurella had him in his pocket the whole 96 minutes. So he's got to do better. But what options do Liverpool have on that right-hand side? Naturally, to replace Salah. Frimpong can play right midfield, but he's not been at it this season. So you can see why he's staying on in games, because
do you think
he can give you that moment, can't he?
Oh, absolutely. Of course he can. And by the way,
even though he's having a bad game,
he's been a genius. He has been an absolute genius.
Feels harsh ever criticising him, doesn't it?
That's exactly where we are, but it's our job to do it. And we've got to comment on what has been, I think, a big concern for Liverpool, as there has been a dramatic drop in his standard. The first thing I would say, his standard has been ridiculously high. So that's why I feel it's more noticeable. Do you think there'll be a section of Liverpool support right now thinking to themselves, we should take the money for him?
No, not at all. I feel, listen, we're still early into the season. I'm sure Mo Salah is his biggest critic and be looking at his performance and say, I can do better. You know, I could have done better there. Some of the chances he had on the weekend, Ali, cutting inside, and
it was just so unlike him, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Gakpo's making a run, and Isak's not happy with not getting the pass, and Mo Salah's shooting a lot. But how many times has he scored? Cutting on his left foot, bending into the top corner, not coming off at the moment.
He's been brilliant.
But I'm sure he will come good, Ali. It's hard to criticise Mo Salah. It just doesn't feel right. But Arne Slot has probably got to look at it and say, you know, you got to do your defensive responsibilities as well.
But yeah,
can't have a player
of course.
Just like
you get away with it. Look, if you're cutting inside and bending the top corner, people close their eyes to you, letting the left fullback run off you.
Yes,
that's what happens. If you've got the ability to come in 3 or 4 times, stick it in the top corner, stick somebody through, then they'll let you away with the wee defensive
was
things.
It first half where the outside of the boot and Isak's got to do better with the header?
Yeah.
If he scores that, you're saying, wow, Mo Salah. Do you know what I mean? So he's still got the levels of quality that he's shown over his career.
I think there's an element, Gab, I don't know whether you agree, I think there's an element, because he's not firing just now, he's actually become a little bit of a victim of his own standards.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
And how many times, and I know you agree with me, would Trent have played a lovely floated through ball into Salah?
Let's get on. As somebody that watches Liverpool a lot more than you and I do, we're going over to Chief Daily Mail writer Dom King. Dom, very good morning, mate. How are you?
Good morning, Dom.
Good morning, gentlemen. I just very much enjoyed listening to that, because you made an awful lot of sensible points.
Well, there you are. brilliant, Dom, and it's not often we do it, I have to say. But I was
going to say, Brazil's not here, is he? So there's been a noticeable standard in the quality.
Well, I'm going to ask you, mate, a couple of things.
Yeah.
Has he become? There's definitely been a drop in his level of play, and to be fair, that's understandable because he has been unbelievable. Is there an element of him missing Trent, the former right back?
Yeah. And you know what? There's also now it's 2 years since, but when things were absolutely at the peak, that triumvirate of Henderson, Trent, and Salah, because you had Henderson doing the selfless work, dropping in. They all knew each other like inside out. That was when it was all in sync, and there's essentially a new team, or he's trying to get used to a whole new way of playing at the minute. 2 new players getting to understand his wavelength and whatnot, and it's just going to take time. To me, he looks like he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders at the minute. He looks in his whole demeanour on the pitch. He looks like he looks like he could do with 2 weeks away from the club. I would say.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got the look of someone that needs a holiday or a bit of a breather, or to go somewhere just to sort of forget about things, try and just sort of get himself back into a bit of positivity and forget the last these last couple of games and whatever. But I think there's been little bits of I'm trying to find the right words for it. Sorry if I'm pausing.
No,
he just looks like he's just carrying a lot on his shoulders at the minute, and I think people need a bit of slack.
Yeah, Don, do we have to be careful that we don't forget as well what this group of players, this football club, has been through with what happened to Jota? Because when I was at Aston Villa, I mean, under Alex McLeish and Stilian Petrov, good friend, leukemia. I mean, that hit us like a ton of bricks. Our captain getting that horrible illness, and that affected us. Never mind Liverpool players who have lost a teammate, a friend. So it's got to affect them.
It has, and I did. That's why I was hesitating in what I was saying first up, because I didn't. I mentioned it in a piece that I wrote last week, and someone said you can't keep mentioning. I had a reply. Somebody said you can't keep mentioning this, but it's been such a huge thing for people to process. It is clearly still in everybody's mind.
Well, it is, Dom. It's really raw. Of course, it's really raw, and it's in everybody else's mind. But at the same time,
you're right.
You can't ignore it. It's relevant, As tragic as it is, sadly, it's relevant as well.
Yeah, it is. And I remember going back to when we were talking in July about this, Ali, and we made the point about whatever happens with Liverpool this season, when you start criticising performances, what does it actually mean in the bigger picture of everything? It's football at the end of the day. But obviously, of course, football's a huge part of people's lives as well at the minute, and people do move on, who aren't connected with it. But it's been very difficult. It's been very, very difficult for everyone.
Dom, there's a little bit of irony as well regarding Liverpool, I think, this season, because I think we're all in kind of agreement that we started the season exceptionally well in terms of results. Perhaps not level of performance, but results were excellent, and a lot of late goals. And yet, the last 2 league matches have actually suffered from that.
Ali, do you know what I was going to say? I was looking at things on Saturday night, right? And you're going through social media and seeing Wits isn't doing this, such and such isn't playing well, Frimpong's been terrible, whatever. What happened in injury time didn't come down to new signings. It came down to game management. If you go back and have a look at the last 7 minutes, Liverpool were playing that game like it was the last 7 minutes of a Champions League semi-final, and they were 1-0 down, desperately to try and get a goal. All they had to do was a bit of smart game management. Get yourselves in blocks, keep the pitch tight, and see the game out. A point away at Chelsea is a great result. A point away, it's an absolutely fine result.
and you move forward, and there'd been enough glimpses in the second half where you thought, yeah, there's a little bits coming back here. You can sort of see what Slots changes had done, and I'm not having the words of suffering from confidence, because if somebody was suffering for confidence, his first flick isn't a backheel pirouette. It just isn't. But the last 7 minutes was just nonsense game management. There was a point when I looked where Virgil van Dijk looked like he was playing left side attack in midfield, and there was a gap in defence that was bigger than my sky.
That one, you might have the one. You might have the one that finished second, Dom, but you never had the winner.
No, we certainly didn't.
Dom, but defensively, do Liverpool have to get back to basics? Because you watch Arsenal in this season conceded 3 goals in the Premier League. Liverpool 9 Premier League goals conceded, and you look like you can get at Liverpool, can't you? Especially on that right hand side of Canate. It doesn't look the same player.
No, it's not just one player, Gabby. It's everything. I spoke to, there was a few of us spoke to Arne Slot on Friday, August the 7th, and I made a note of this last week. I did a piece about it. And he was talking about pre-season, and someone had asked him whether he had enough attacking options for the coming weeks ahead. Isaac hadn't obviously been signed. And he said, I'm not bothered about what we've got in terms of attack. I'm more bothered about the chances that we're giving up. And if you look back at pre-season, they conceded 9 goals in 5 games. They then went to the Community Shield, conceded 2. And obviously, there's only been 2 clean sheets in the 7 games so far this season. Now, if you go back to this time last year, after 8 games in all competitions, Liverpool had conceded 4 and had 4 clean sheets. So there is a massive, massive change in the way Liverpool are defended. And it isn't just about one player or anything. This is deeper, and the manager knows it. You can you've been with him on Friday. He was talking about he thinks teams have sort of worked Liverpool out to some extent in terms of how to stop them playing, and he noticed elements of that towards the second half of last season. So he has got issues to address, big issues to address in the coming weeks. I think the international break is coming at just the right time. I think being away from each other for a few days won't do them any harm whatsoever. But when they come back, they need to make a statement against Manchester United.
Oh yeah,
I think they absolutely have to do, because you can feel it creeping in already. 3 defeats in a week. That everybody's ready for the sort of get stuck into Liverpool. But that's what you've got to deal with as champions.
Absolutely, Dom. Thanks for your time, mate.
Love it, Dom. Thank you, mate.
Have a good week. Right. Thanks, mate. Still to come on breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
Okay, 03717 223344. That's the number. Russell Martin obviously been replaced yesterday. How are you Rangers lads feeling at this moment in time? Would you take Stephen Gerrard back? The floor is yours. Give us a call. Give you that number again, 03717 223344. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
doke, 7:50, Monday the 6th of October. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. It's time now to take a look at today's top headlines. Thanks to Movember.
Get ready with Movember on talkSPORT. The moustache is calling. Grow and mow, raise funds, save lives. Sign up now at Movember.com.
OK, in the last hour, the former England Rugby Union captain Lewis Moody has revealed, sadly, that he's been diagnosed with motor neuron disease. Moody has said there's something about looking to the future in the face and not wanting to really process that at the minute. It's not that I don't understand where it's going. We understand that. But there is absolutely a reluctance to look the future in the face for now. Very, very sad news. Obviously, and our thoughts are with Lewis and his family. In other news, Rangers have sacked Russell Martin after just 4 months in the job. Yesterday's 1-1 draw at Falkirk was his 17th and final game in charge. And for the first time since 2009, I could not believe that, by the way, Ipswich claimed the Old Farm bragging rights as a brilliant Jayden Philogene strike, and what a strike it was, helped them to a 3-1 win over Norwich. I could not believe, guys, 2009. I mean, probably haven't played each other every year, I get all that.
Yeah.
However, now for a full in-depth review of all the biggest EFL stories, including Steve Bruce losing his job at Blackpool, manager, tune into EFL All Access. That's from 6 p.m. on talkSPORT 2. That was a look at today's top headlines thanks to Movember. Sign up now at Movember.com.
Get ready with Movember on talkSPORT. Grow a moustache, raise funds, save lives, and change the face of men's health. Sign up now at Movember.com.
You doing that, Movember? I'm going to have another go at it. I can't grow a moustache, man.
Mine's horrendous. And I grow.
Yours isn't bad. You've got that kind of.
You've already got one.
Oh, yeah, but if it grows, it goes all over the.
You've got one of those. No, you see the way you've got one. You need a wee sombrero and a wee guitar, and you're off and running.
My head's upside down, isn't it? I need a moustache and the chin hair on the top of my head.
I think you should do it this year.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right, we're in for it. You and I are going for it. Olivia, you joining us?
Yeah. I actually probably could, to be fair. Right, I am back to talk about Pep Guardiola. Obviously, he hit 250 Premier League wins as Manchester City boss. And just first of all, talkSPORT's Alex Crook caught up with Pep Guardiola and spoke to him about hitting that milestone.
Top is cool, right? So, quicker, faster, better. We did it. We won a lot, my friend. We won a lot. That's why we won 250 games in victories and in a little bit more than almost 350 games. So it's unbelievable. So I'm so proud, and I owe Sir Alex Ferguson, David Moyes, and Arsene Wenger a dinner. I will pay.
Machine.
Oh, so he has done it the quickest.
He's been fantastic, hasn't it?
He has done it the quickest. 349 matches it has taken Pep Guardiola to reach 250 Premier League wins. Now he joins an illustrious club. He was talking about taking Arsene Wenger, Sir Alex Ferguson and David Moyes out for dinner because those three are the other three in that club now.
We need to take his wallet.
All that red wine.
Known two of the three very well. We need to take his wallet.
Okay, so we were talking Mount Rushmore of Premier League managers.
Love it.
So,
question for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what Mount Rushmore is?
I know that. No.
That's a great question.
Yeah, should I?
No.
I only just know it for the picture of it.
I
think people say it's like the best.
No, I need to get it right now. I think it's South Dakota. It's either North Dakota or South Dakota.
Also, yeah.
But it's.
Shut up! Gabby,
you know
if I don't know it, you're going to know it.
You must know who's on it. Do you know who's on it?
No.
No.
Oh, well, let's get on.
Should we know who's on it?
Presidents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Washington, Lincoln, Jefferson, and one of the other founding fathers.
Yeah, this is why I work in sport, because I know. Anyway, Mount Rushmore of Premier League managers.
Can I kill that one, haven't I?
Can we? Now, for me, three of them are non-negotiables. Arsene Wenger.
Wenger, Ferguson.
Sir Alex Ferguson, Pep Guardiola. To me, those three are three of the four. Now, the other one...
Not Mourinho.
Well, for me, the fourth one is obviously Jose.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, stupid question, Ali. But not a lot of people maybe would say Mourinho. Who would be your fourth? I mean, I've got some names here. So, Harry Redknapp, 236 wins, 643 games. Jose, 217 wins, 362 games. Jurgen Klopp, 209 wins, 334. Big Sam in there.
Yeah.
So
this is the top flight.
So this is Premier League. So
There's no football before Premier League, mate.
no, there's not. Come on, Ali, you should know that by now.
Because straight away, I'm throwing Neil Warnock into the equation if it's overall, right? I'm throwing Neil Warnock into the equation, right? But if it's just top flight,
I don't know,
we can have a
it's hard,
discussion.
isn't it?
Top flight, it's got to be the four you've mentioned.
So you're going Jose as well?
Mourinho, 100%.
Oh, it would be you'd pick Mourinho
Yeah,
as well. No Harry Redknapp, no Big Sam.
I think what Mourinho done for the Premier League, you know, he come in with no fear, didn't he?
Yeah,
Up
impact.
against Sir Alex Ferguson, no fear.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever way you look at it, we also are influenced by trophies.
Yeah.
So,
But that has to come into it. I think, you know, to do what Mourinho did coming in that first season.
Money spent though.
Yeah, but like you think of like Didier Drogba, that first season he didn't score many goals, and we still won the league by an absolute canter. Like it, but also I
He
think
was brilliant, Drogba.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but do you know what's funny is that his first season at Chelsea he wasn't that great, and it's like you know, imagine now if you look at what Nicholas Jackson did, he equaled Drogba's numbers first season,
Yeah.
and everyone was saying it was rubbish. So, but
Olivia, now just hold on. You're not going to start making comparisons.
No, I'm obviously not. No, I'm just saying that my point was that Drogba wasn't amazing when he first joined Chelsea.
Yeah.
He grew into it and became an absolute animal.
Agreed.
However,
Loved him.
yeah, and so underrated, I think, to this
Yes.
day. I think people just forget what he was like.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Premier League defenders
He's one of
say,
these players, if you're John Terry or Frank Lampard, you look up the pitch and go, whoa, we're all right up
Yeah.
there.
I remember defenders at Villa saying, it's Drogba next Saturday. A week before, already scared of Drogba. That's
Okay,
how good he was.
sorry, we've got back onto Chelsea here. This isn't the point I was trying to make. But let's go back to managers. And obviously, okay, so our Mount Rushmore are those four, right?
Yes.
Can Pep Guardiola overtake Sir Alex Ferguson
Can he?
in terms of being number
Can he? Yes. Will he? No.
What would he have to do then?
You need to win another.
So he's obviously won 6 Premier Leagues, 1 Champions League, 2 FA Cups and 4 League Cups since he's been at City. And obviously, along with Sir Alex Ferguson, did the only thing...
Win 11 or 12 or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Two Champions Leagues.
Yeah, but City, like, you know, that's doable, isn't it? For City, another Champions League, you would say?
Yeah, they wouldn't be favourites.
No, they're not favourites, but in a knockout competition, you
Yes,
could
they
back
could do it.
them,
They could
back
do
them
it.
against
Yes,
anyone
absolutely, they could do it.
over 2 legs.
I take your point.
So what do you reckon?
It's
Can
hard,
he
isn't it?
surpass Alex?
I don't think he can. And you have to look back at, and we haven't got the details in front of us, but what did Sir Alex Ferguson spend compared to... Do you know what I mean?
Different
Obviously,
back then, though,
different
isn't it?
eras and stuff,
Yeah.
of course, but Pep
Difficult to
Guardiola
compare.
has spent a lot of money. Even this new City squad you see now, he has spent fortunes.
But then he's backed it up. Do you know what I mean? Because you look at sorry to go back to Chelsea, but the money Chelsea have spent and haven't won anything.
Of
But you
course.
look at the money, and Guardiola improves everyone, doesn't he? Anyone
I think
that
it's a
comes to that
fascinating
club.
season this year. I really think it's a fascinating season. You look at changes at City. This is fun. First time Pep's actually been kind of asked the question: can he change a team? Can he replace the De Bruyne's and people like that? I still think Mahrez is the one kind of player that they haven't really replaced. Great topic, but we're agreeing on the Rushmore.
Yeah, the 4.
And I've just told
Who would
you
be number 5 though?
somebody normally comes in South Dakota.
No, you can't. We can't be doing that, Gabby, because then it's
Who's
just
number
like-
5? We've not got time for it. Does Moisey come into the
Yeah,
equation?
Moisey. Yeah.
Right, coming
Martin
up, we
O'Neill.
turn our attention to Big Ange. Yeah, Martin Neal, another one, absolutely. Gabby has told everyone out there to leave him alone. But does he deserve the pressure? We'll discuss that next.
Lewis Hamilton, now at Ferrari, dares to dream of a record 8th F1 world title. The Tifosi will be hoping the Brits can bring glory back to Italy. To many, Ferrari and Formula One are inseparable. They're the only team in the sport today to have competed in the first World Championship in 1950, are the most successful team in history, and have built some absolutely gorgeous cars. Their first driver's title was won in 1952 by Alberto Ascari. Considered one of F1's most dominant and best-loved champions, he drove the iconic Ferrari 500 and defended his title the year after. It was Juan Manuel Fangio in his Ferrari 250 who secured the team's next driver's title in 1956. Remember, he was world champion 5 times with 4 different teams. Mike Hawthorne, Phil Hill and John Surtees also won titles for Ferrari in the 50s and 60s, and the cars back then were beautiful, and they even sounded great, didn't they? Anyway, Ferrari went 11 years without winning a title until Niki Lauda won in 1975 in the iconic 312T. Throughout much of the 80s and 90s, though, Ferrari looked like they'd never go all the way again. Le Professeur Alain Prost came pretty close in 1990, but lost out to his bitter rival and former teammate at McLaren, Ayrton Senna. It was only when John Todt recruited a swathe of staff from outside of Italy, including Michael Schumacher, that the glory days returned 21 years after their last driver's title. The turn of the century saw the prancing horse sprint to an unprecedented 5 consecutive championship doubles. And after Schumacher left, Kimi Raikkonen reclaimed the driver's title immediately. But despite employing 1,500 people, the Iceman remains the last Ferrari world champion. So, 16 constructors' titles, 7 more than McLaren, and 15 drivers' titles, 4 more than, again, McLaren. Ferrari are truly Formula One's top team. Forza Ferrari.
Five minutes past 8. It's Monday the 6th of October. Gabby.
Bobby done.
Sir Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
Sir Bobby Robson.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, isn't there? Really something.
Ranieri, what he done with Leicester.
That was just ridiculous.
Incredible, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I'll never forget that. For life to be 100.
I know.
That was ridiculous. Well, I mean, that was one of the most unbelievable, stunning moments in sport.
I remember that season. I think that was a season where we went 1-0 up against them away from home and they ended up beating us 2-1. I think Vardy got a late goal. That was the season. Incredible. Never thought they had a chance.
Unbelievable it was. Remarkable. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. And of course, Arnold Clark get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. Now, Big Ange has made history, the first Forest manager in 100 years not to win any of his first 7 games, sadly.
Big Ange, big return, has a familiar feeling about it. It's another defeat in North London.
The stadium exploded and Ange, well, he can't quite believe it. Swansea 3, Nottingham Forest 2.
He is the worst manager ever to grace the Premier League. Now there's a statement for you.
He's made Nottingham Forest
Spurs. And the full-time whistle has just gone. Nottingham Forest 0, Sunderland 1.
Sacked in the morning. The chant of the Nottingham Forest fans.
The fans are disappointed. They're allowed to, they're entitled to have an opinion on it. I heard their opinion.
6 games now for Ange Postecoglou. No victory.
I knew I was getting sacked at Tottenham about 3 or 4 months before I did. Didn't stop me winning something. It doesn't enter my head.
Ange Postecoglou, well, the wait for a first win carries on. 7 matches, that's now without a win. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of talk about his position in the morning. Newcastle 2, Nottingham Forest 0.
I'm still trying to find where Mount Rushmore is.
I'm not even.
But I noticed Dakota's it is south. I was right, South Dakota.
Finally, Ed.
That's cheering me up, no end. Yeah, that's right. Here we go. Now 7 games, 5 defeats, 2 draws. Not been the best to start at all. Postecoglou, however, is not worried for his job.
No, it's a lost cause. I mean, it's seriously, what's wrong with something being hard? Seriously, what's wrong with it? Why does everything have to be so... Why do we want everything just delivered, nicely packaged? I'm sure your parents had a struggle in their life, right? And they didn't give up. You may have even been a lost cause at some point, but they didn't give up on you, right? So what I'm saying is... No. But what I'm saying is, right, I'm not having a go at you, please, don't take it that way, is that, you know, it seems to be these days that as soon as something goes wrong, that's it, it's wrong, we'll change it, break it up. Like... Everything that needs kind of something fixed is invariably going to go through a tough time.
Oh, it's true. It's very true what you said there. We're getting more on Forest, and there's no one better to talk about Forest than former captain Stuart Pearce. Piercey, good morning, mate. How are you?
Good morning, Piercey.
All well, thanks. Morning, gents. Yeah, all well.
Great stuff. Thanks for joining us, mate. The first question I'll ask you, it's results. Listen, the big thing that puts managers under pressure, or the biggest thing for me, Pierce, is obviously results. But before we go on to the results, was Ange under a little bit more pressure than most new managers because there was a section of the support perhaps not that keen on his appointment? And unlike a lot of managers that go to new jobs, Piercey, you know, unlike most of them, Ange was actually taking over from a very successful one.
Yeah, I get the feeling, Ellie, you're bang on there. There was a bit of angst with the decision with Nuno, you know, there's no doubt about that. And prior to that, obviously, Steve Cooper being, fired from his job. I think a few of the fans were disappointed in that. And I've got to say, on both counts, I was as well. But the owner, when you look back on certainly the Steve Cooper one, you might say, well, hang on a minute, Nuno done a slightly better job, you know. He's chasing silverware, the owner, and whatever. So maybe that's his philosophy there. But what I would say, definitely, Ange has gone in under a little bit of pressure. I think some of the booing midweek, if you like, it was aimed just as much maybe at the decision about Nuno than it was Ange, you know. So I was at the game yesterday. I didn't think the performance was a performance of a poor team that are not trying for their manager, personally. I thought, you know, that they grafted well, the team. They're just lacking a bit of cutting edge now, Ali.
Like Ali says earlier on, Piercey, I asked him about the 5 at the back. I was saying that, you know, it was difficult for Chris Wood to get any support up there, but Ali says, rightly so, if he played a 4 at the back and was open, we'd all be questioning his tactics there. But is he struggling to figure out his best side, Piercey? Because Sangara on the bench, you had Igor Jesus, who was probably more suited for the sort of game they played yesterday on the counter-attack. Bakwa, Hudson-Odoi, Amari Hutchinson. Is he starting to find it hard to figure out his best 11?
I think he's looking round, he's getting to know the players, Gab, it's fair to say. You know, tinkering with maybe the line-up and the formation, it will be fair, you know. But I think he's had sort of, you know, he's had 7 games, as you mentioned there, and have a good look at it, have a good think about it come this period of international. Maybe the break might have come at a good time, maybe, you might say. When they come back, they got a home game against Chelsea that we're covering at talkSPORT, so that'll be a really good game in itself. But you know, the message to the Forest fans will be, you know, stick loyal, you know, get behind the manager, get behind the team. The team are having a go, and you've got to bear in mind, I thought Elanga played well yesterday. Bear in mind, he was one of Forest's key players on the counter-attack of last year. He lined up against them. Aina wasn't fit, who's played really well for him as well. Murillo was out. So I just think they're lacking, when they did last year, counter-attack with threat, with pace, mainly Elanga. That threat wasn't there yesterday.
Yeah.
So on turnover, it's slowed and they had to go backwards too often.
Pierce, yeah, on top of that, I'm not sure what you thought yourself, mate. I thought it was a free kick and Gibbs White, to be brutally honest, before they're going. And sometimes when things aren't going for you, it just compounds. I want to ask you, mate, move on while we've got you, pal. City, victory at Brentford. But I want to talk to you about the big fella. So I've got to say, mate, I think he is looking right now as good, as physically strong, you know, as lethal, as potential as I've ever seen him, Piercy.
Yeah, well, listen, I'll tell you what I like about him. I like his mentality, you know. He'll go into games and the odd centre-half, and I quantify that in the modern era, try to rough him up a little bit, but he just stares them down and went, okay, it's not a problem. He doesn't react. He doesn't roll around on the floor. I quite like his style of play, and as I say, in front of goal, technically, incredible, and the goals just keep coming, don't they, really, with him? Incredible.
People were writing off City like a couple of games ago. They're only 3 points behind the leaders, Arsenal. Only two goals in the goal difference as well, with Arsenal's 11 and Man City's 9. They've got a real chance, haven't they, PC, to go and win the league title still?
Yeah, I think we all think in football that it's Liverpool, Arsenal, or Man City. You don't have to be a genius to think that. I'm not seeing anybody outside that personally, but you know, yeah, it will be an intriguing title race this year. I sort of tipped Liverpool start of season, and I won't change that as yet. But them having a couple of defeats on the bounce, and I don't think I saw that coming with them. You know, so could be a great title.
I'm laughing, mate. You see, that's the one thing about you. You're refusing to jump ship. I've jumped ship twice already since the season started. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, mate. I took Liverpool right at the start of the season, right? I did.
Yes.
I thought
as we all did.
Yeah, I thought the job had done the way. And then, but surprisingly, Piercy, actually, after they beat Arsenal, you know, with that tremendous free kick, I looked at Arsenal, I thought, I think defensively they're the strongest. The one thing that's not up for debate, we're going to get some title race all the way to run. I think it's going to be a fantastic season, mate. I mean, the comments are now, even after 7 games. Liverpool, for example, I thought their results were fantastic initially at the start, if not their performance, and then obviously they've lost a couple of late goals. I think it's going to be a bit of that all the way through the season, mate.
Yeah, the one thing I've got to say to you at this stage, Ali, is if I was one of your teammates and you said to me, I've got your back, Piercy, come on, fella. You can't move on that quickly in a matter of weeks.
Piercy, I might have been one of those players you might have been up against the dressing room wall with me a couple of times, Piercy. Brilliant, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, Piercy.
Take care, gents. Well done.
Have a good week. Now, don't forget, for more reaction to another weekend of Premier League action, check out the talkSPORT Daily podcast. Alan Pardew and Majestic are saying that Newcastle are in the title race. You can listen wherever you get your podcasts. Up next with the standard this year, could Gabby win Strictly Come Dancing this time next year? I very much doubt it.
No.
Wow.
No.
Yes, do not adjust your radio transistor knob. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Just 2 weeks ago it was revealed that Tom Skinner wouldn't be allowed to use his catchphrase during his time on Strictly. But it didn't matter for too long, as he was the first celebrity voted out last night. I know I shouldn't laugh. That is terrible. Judge Craig Revel Horwood described his salsa as like watching a weightlifting competition in Skegness. I'd be very careful, Craig. Some of those weightlifters in Skegness will come down and have a quiet word in your ear. Well, Tom signed off by saying, "I can't really dance, but I had fun." That's what it's all about.
He had a go, didn't he?
Aye, that's what it's all about.
I'd hate to see me on there.
I think you'd be different class.
I'd be on the floor, I reckon.
I'd love to see in one of those sequins. One of those wee sparkly outfits.
But you know what? You wouldn't want to try dancing on ice.
I don't care. Dancing on ice has given me one of the best moments I've ever seen in television.
Jim,
when your man skated right off the ice. What was his name? Come on, Ed, help me out. It was your man, Todd Carty.
What happened?
It was the best, Gabby. I'm going to show you in the next break. He's skating on the ice. And he just loses it, and he can't turn, right? And it's as if he kind of waves, and he just
live on the telly.
Live on the telly.
Oh, you're joking.
I'm going to show you. It's the funniest thing you'll see today. And I was like, oh, brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. Right?
Not for me, Ali.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Well, no, we'll maybe leave that. Well, just a wee bit too late for us, that.
Yeah, at least he had to go, though.
We did have a go, and good on him for doing that. Right, it's time for the latest odds of Coral and Dave Stevens.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
A very good morning to you. It must be a
Good morning, Steve.
A delighted Dave Stevens, I would suggest.
Good morning, Ali. Good morning, Gabby. Yeah, the blue shirt's on today, obviously, after Portsmouth beat Middlesbrough, who were obviously top of the Championship. That was a huge home win after a couple of poor results. And I know Big Al, he can't have Ipswich as favourites. And actually, for the first time this season, he's right, because Coventry are favourites now to win the Championship.
Aren't they? Wow.
9-4 Coventry. Still a great result for Ipswich, though, Gab, wasn't it? Winning. What did you call this? The Old Farmers Derby?
That's the old. No, I didn't say farmers. Now, don't get. I'm in enough trouble with Old Farm. The Old Farm Derby. I did not mention farmers at all, Steve-O. Now, steady on, my son.
Fair enough. The Old Farm. Well, anyway, Ipswich, great result in the game against Norwich. They're 5-2. Middlesbrough 6-1 after that. Tanking they took at Fratton Park 1-0 at the weekend. But no, listen, it was a great weekend for Portsmouth. A result they needed, to be fair.
Steve-O, I'm jumping away from the football, which we will come back to. What an arc. What an arc. What a great race. Minnie Hawk, just the 94 favourite, pipped on the line, but tremendous achievement, obviously, for the late Aga Khan and Mikel Barzalone. I gave it a great ride, but what a training achievement again, Francis Graf. I thought it was a brilliant race, mate.
Yeah, it never disappoints me. I love it. For me, it's the greatest flat race in the world. It was so wide open, but Aidan O'Brien won the first two races yesterday, the two Group 1s for the juveniles, and everyone just thought he was going to clean up. And Minnie Hawk was smashed up in the betting, went off a short price favourite, but Deriz, in those famous Aga Khan, a son of See the Stars, of course, the brilliant winner of the race in 2009, just pipped brilliant the front two. I hope they both stay in training, because they're only 3-year-olds. They're both lightly raced, and there could be so much more to come. But as I say, it never disappoints, that race. And yesterday was no exception. So, yeah, Deriz, but Minnie Hawk, honestly, I know it's a cliche in sport. She lost nothing in defeat. But, I hope we see them both again next year.
Agreed, mate. Agreed. Now, back to the title race. Come on then, Arsenal they must have shortened ever so slightly again, Stephen.
Look, I know, this is why Stuart Pearce, right, is a man that has a follow, because he sticks to his guns. Not like you. I mean, every week you've changed this season.
Looking strong though, aren't they, Steve, or Arsenal?
Yeah, but I still, they are, of course they're looking strong. They've started brilliantly, and they've added to the squad over the summer. But I think this is an overreaction by bookmakers, actually. Liverpool were favourites up until last weekend. Then Arsenal became favourites. Arsenal are now odds on, 10 to 11. Liverpool out to 11 to 4. For me, that is now too big a discrepancy between them. Because this is a Liverpool side. I heard you talking to Dom earlier, Dom King. And Gab, you mentioned it. What these players went through in the summer must never be underestimated in terms of how it's affected them. They're 7 games in. They sit 1 point off the top. They were brilliant last season. At some point, they will click into gear.
And there's 7 games, Steve-O, and they've not started yet.
Yeah.
They've not performed yet. So imagine when they do pick up form and Isak starts getting used to Salah, you know, and Kirkes and Frimpong start to get used to the back line as well. Liverpool will come good.
Yeah. And look, we know at the moment, as I say, there are defensive frailties. They're not firing, but they will do. We saw how dominant they were last year. So for me, should they now be out to 11 to 4? No, they shouldn't. Manchester City are into 7 to 2. Are they just, clicking into gear a little bit as well? And then really, I know Chelsea won, but they're out to 25 to 1. Tottenham 40 to 1. Gab, you must be delighted with how Villa are now.
Never in doubt, mate. When you're in trouble, Steve-O, always rely on the Scot, John McGinn. He's been immense during this tough period for Aston Villa. The captain he stood up and he's been counted and he's been outstanding.
Yeah. So come on, where do you go? Is top 4
a
pipe dream this year?
I say top 7 is a very good season for Aston Villa. Go and try and win the FA Cup as well or the Europa League. But top 7.
Top 7?
The players
That's a new one.
Oh, dear Steve, there's never been a greater lack of confidence in your team.
I was going to say, Alex.
Top 7. You've gone for Champions League, to doing this, doing that, doing the next thing. Now you've...
You know why? PSR. That's why. Say no more.
Now, listen, we're going to have to start a new market for Gabby's cowardly predictions. We've got top 6, Gab, which is 4 to 1, and we've got top half, which Villa will, obviously. Top 7?
Oh.
European places, that's what I mean, top 7.
Steve, what about the other end of the table? I mean, you've got Wolves, think they're going to get the 3 points, and then bang, and then another one for West Ham.
Burnley weren't
Forest
great.
getting dragged back into
Burnley weren't great against Villa.
What are you thinking?
Look, Leeds are the promoted team who we don't think at this moment in time are in any danger. 3 to 1. Sunderland 13 to 8. Again, a great start. So that drags in the likes of Wolves now 13 to 8 on. West Ham 13 to 8 against. Obviously, Burnley do look. I know obviously it's very early days, but that's 7 to 2 on. The question is, Nottingham Forest down now 5 to 2. I mean. It's, I know it's 7 games on, but if the likes of Leeds and Sunderland, which they've started brilliantly, are going to give themselves every chance, it's going to drag one of these teams in, isn't it?
Certainly is. It certainly is.
I think Burnley look poor against Aston Villa. Wolves, they can't get over the line that first win. But I think Nottingham Forest have got enough in that squad of players to be fine this season.
I just hope Nuno gets a tune out of West Ham and he'll need one kind of sharpish. That's what I'm at happening.
And Ali, we've got to ask you. I mean, next Rangers betting, early days, obviously again. But I mean, you're not going to tell us. What do you know?
Well, I'll tell you what I know. I'll tell you exactly what I know.
And then I'll tell you the betting.
I wish we'd taken my advice for the last one. That was Frank Lampard. That's what I said. Right, my exact tip was Frank Lampard. And clearly Frank is doing exceptionally well now, and I think it would be nearly impossible to get him. But a lot of the people, myself included, I wouldn't mind at all. In fact, I'd quite like to see Steven Gerrard coming back. I don't think he will, though, but I think it's one of these situations where he probably has to, I don't know the ins and outs of it, I think he probably has to stay out of the country for a while for other reasons. After that, probably missed the boat with Derek McInnes, who's doing a fantastic job at Hearts.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm all ears. Steve will tell me.
I mean, Kevin Muscat's our early favourite, and obviously it is early, 2 to 1. Then is it Danny Roll, the German, 5 to 2? Sean Dyche, 5 to 2. Could Sean Dyche be back? Steven Gerrard's in there at 5 to 2. Derek McInnes, you mentioned there, 4 to 1. I mean, you're right. Frank Lampard, 25 to 1. you think that the job he's doing at Coventry, he's going to want to see that through.
They cannot make a mistake now, the Rangers. Have to get it right.
Massive, Steve-o.
I'm just looking down to see what Ally McCoist is in the betting, but
by the way, Brazil
with
Brazil
Gabby
will have a better
Agbonlahor as his assistant.
Brazil will be shorter odds than me, Steve, I would have thought. Listen, mate, thanks for your time.
Top man, Steve.
Cheers, fellas.
See you soon, pal. That was a look at all the latest odds. Thanks to Coral. 18plus gambleaware.org. Now, coming up, apparently, Gab, the refs are actually getting better this season. We're going to find out how and why seemingly that is true.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18plus gambleaware.org.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were absolutely sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money, but instead of entering league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. Think of it like the Harlem Globetrotters of football, and it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil, and the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest clubs in Brazil.
Now that's a song. That is a song. That's don't look at me
again.
that.
No, it's a great tune, but was it off like maybe Sky back in the day, Super Sunday at the start?
Oh,
that's where I recognise it from. Yeah, I think
might
it was.
have been.
Yeah.
Absolutely might have been. Saw Richard Ashcroft supporting Oasis the other week. They're different class.
Yes,
Now this is
great.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Ally McCoist Gabby Agbonlahor and Arnold Clark. Get £750 off any used electric car or indeed a home charger now. Make sure you don't miss Drive with Andy and Darren tomorrow afternoon from 4 as they'll be joined live in the studio. There you go.
Wow.
With the very man we're just talking about, Richard Ashcroft. Brilliant. Now, they've put a question here and said, do you know what group he fronts? But you do. I mean, that's poor. But see, you always try and set this
What did
fella
they say,
up.
sorry, Anna?
Verb.
Yeah.
You always, who did you? The verb.
Yeah, the
See,
verb.
there you are. With another V. With a V. Now, you actually answered that very question a few weeks ago. Have a listen to this.
It rhymes with tennis. Your first shot.
First shot. Serve.
Yeah.
Quirv.
What
Go on, put me out my misery.
What a tool.
He's the worst, by the way.
He is, isn't he?
He makes sure that I have the wrong answer every
Terrible.
time.
He sets you up.
Scum.
And you're travelling up to Scotland with him as well.
I know, I can't wait.
I know.
On a plane next to him. On a seat, sorry. Oh, God. I want to see Moan, Ali.
Oh, dear me. Right, don't miss the Verve frontman Richard Ashcroft live in the talkSPORT Drive studio. That's tomorrow afternoon from 4. He will reveal all of his time touring with Oasis this summer, chat about his beloved Manchester United, and he'll even play some of his biggest hits live in the show. I didn't know that. That's brilliant. Well done. Looking forward to that already. Now, the topic of refereeing is never too far away from the lips of football fans, but it was a fairly quiet weekend when it comes to the scrutiny of officials. That said, Enzo Maresca's second yellow card for running down the touchline following Chelsea's 95th minute winner against Liverpool has got people talking. Here's what Maresca's assistant Willie Caballero said on the sending off.
Well, of course, he knows about the red card. He knows that in the future he has to avoid that. Everybody knows that, but it was a matter of emotions today. We all were deciding about to score the goal, and when he ran to the players and the supporters, a victory like that, sometimes you cannot keep the calm.
Okay, excuse me, PGMOL Chief Howard Webb has admitted that an error was made not sending off Brentford's Nathan Collins during a run over Manchester United, but said last week this decision was correct not to award Victor Gyökeres a penalty against Newcastle, which absolutely staggers me. However, joining us now for more on the season's refereeing displays so far is former Premier League referee and co-host of talkSPORT's Men in Black podcast, Chris Foy. Chris, very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning, guys. You okay?
We're in top form, Chris. Now, my first question to you is this. I understand rules are rules and the laws are the laws. Where do most of the referees sit on decisions like that second booking of Maresca that gives him a red card, the second booking of Ekitike when he scores the winner? Now, as I said, we're aware, so we don't have a lot of sympathy, but do referees have sympathy in the respect that they don't want to send these people off, but they're facing their own, maybe, they might get punished themselves if they don't apply the laws?
Well, we love refereeing and we love the emotion of the game, and we watch football. We're involved in it. It's a fantastic sport. It's where we want to be, and sometimes people do get caught up in the emotion, don't they? You mentioned Ekitike. I think it was against Southampton. He got a second yellow for removing his shirt. And realistically, Ali, the referees have nowhere to go because that is in the laws of the game. You remove his shirt, you're going to get a caution. And of course, if you look back at Saturday, I thought, the Chelsea-Liverpool game, I really enjoyed that one. But the manager, he's got a caution early on when he was disappointed not to get a penalty with the Szoboszlai and Garnacho incident, which was quite rightly not a penalty. And he stepped across the line there, got a yellow card. And then, of course, they score the last-minute winner and he runs down the touchline and gets that second yellow card. But as a referee, you're thinking he's emotional. That's where we are. But unfortunately, the laws tell you, there's no wriggle room with this. He's not respected, the confines of the technical area. and he's quite rightly sent off. But we're not killjoys. You know, you have to operate within the framework of the law, the framework of the laws in these situations.
Chris, my biggest frustration in recent football is how easy players go down, and sometimes referees can give a foul when you're watching the game. It's not enough contact to go down. But what I've noticed this weekend, I watched a lot of football over the weekend from Friday evening to yesterday evening. Refs aren't having it anymore. I mean, that's what everyone wants to see. They're playing on, get up, another foul. What's not a lot of contact, play on. Is that something that is coming from above, you reckon?
This was talked about at the start of the season. Not every contact is a foul. You know, players go to ground. They give referees decision to make. It's like, you know, when you played yourself, Gabby, you give a referee a decision to make. And I think, in fairness, we saw some fantastic examples of this in the Chelsea-Liverpool game where players were going to ground and Anthony Taylor wasn't having it. And when players realise they're not getting free kicks for minimal contact, for small contact, they'll get up. I mean, you guys know you've played the game long enough, and as many games as you have, you test the referees sometimes. And I thought Anthony Taylor balanced that perfectly on Saturday in that game. He just wasn't having it. And players got up and carried on playing, and it became a really good spectacle.
Agreed.
Because I want to move on to a couple of decisions that are obviously talking points. And I want to ask you about them. And I want to ask you overall about VAR, right? Because that's one of the things that we're going to discuss. However, I thought VAR... I nailed it. I put my hands up and said it'll be brilliant, because anything that wrongs, I beg your pardon, rights are wrong, must be a good thing. However, one thing what I would say now is not necessarily doing that. I get back to Gyökeres's penalty or non-penalty at Newcastle. I think it's an absolute stonewaller. I really, really do. Howard Webb obviously agreed with the referee. Now, one of the wee problems I've got is VAR getting involved in it, because they obviously think the referee has made a clear and obvious error. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind, you know, I think sometimes they are not clear and obvious errors. And then you take away and you look at Voltemada's header, where he clearly has a little bit of a nudge on the defender. And I'm thinking to myself, how can VAR get involved in one and not the other? As it happens, I personally think the header should stand and it is a goal, but there is a slight nudge. And I think, well, if he's going to dig one up, he has to dig the other up. And I actually think, the goal should have stood, and thankfully it did. But for the life of me, I just think that's a penalty.
I think as referees, we always strive for consistency. And when you look at the first one with the Gyökeres, when I watched that in real time, I went, penalty, and Jared Gillett, who was the referee, did exactly the same. But what he didn't see the touch by Nick Pope, the goalkeeper, where he toes the ball away. And a lot of people say, you know, should the VAR be getting involved? But when the referee went to the monitor, and you've got to bear in mind as well that Jared Gillett, who was the referee for this game, he operates as a VAR in this country, and he also operates abroad as well as a video match official. He's actually seen the goalkeeper toe the ball away, which he didn't see in real time. But he has all the options are open to him, Ali. You know, he can stay with the final decision is always with the referee. So he's looked at that and gone, I actually never saw that. That's clearly wrong. And they overturned that decision. With the second one, Baltimore, I'm with you 100%. Contact is a normal part of football. There's a slight contact. The player, and Gabby's just alluded to it, has thrown himself to ground, thrown himself forward to try and give the referee that decision to make, where he's actually saying, you've pushed me. But he judged his involvement there perfectly. I think that was a good goal, and it was quite rightly allowed to stand.
It's sometimes as well in games, when there's a lot going on, do sometimes players get away with a little bit? Because that same game we're talking about, Gabriel, literally, maybe it's not a rock-solid punch, but he punches Voltemade in the face, and then nothing happens. You know, and if Voltemade was maybe one of the other players that are quite soft that want to fall to the floor, he probably does get sent off, doesn't he, Gabriel?
Well, you can only judge incidents, Gabby, on their own individual merits, really. And when I saw that, I thought if that had been seen by the referee, it clearly wasn't, but it would have been picked up by the VAR, who was Darren England on this occasion. Yeah. He didn't feel as though that was an act of violent conduct. I think if it's seen, I think you're giving a free kick there, and you're giving, you know, you're going to give a yellow card. I think it's a reckless act by the player. I don't think it's violent. I don't think it's enough for a red, but it's certainly a yellow.
It's amazing. Fair enough. We're going to go into stats in a minute, but it's funny, Chris, where I would take a wee bit of slight issue, it's just a different opinion. You say the goalkeeper toes the ball away. I'm the opposite, actually. I think the ball's played off him rather than him playing the ball at all. But that's just a discussion. But I want to hit you with some stats. PGML OL recently reported a 42% drop in VAR errors from season 23-24. That was last season. While matches are said to have stopped, this is just as important for me, mate. Yeah. Said to have stopped for an average of 25 seconds less for VAR checks during the same time. That's got to be good news.
Absolutely. Well, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, aren't you? You know, you've got a VAR check. You want it right. You want it quicker. I think what's important in this situation is referees don't mark their own homework. That's really important. You know, all the key match incidents, all the key match decisions are adjudicated on by the key match incident panel, which is made up of former players, managers, the Premier League, and a person from the PGMOL. So they're not marking their own homework. This is an independent panel that adjudicates on all the big decisions, and those statistics are produced from that.
Brilliant, mate. Thanks for your time this morning. Really enjoyed it.
Good stuff. Have a great day, guys.
You too. For more reaction, the latest Men in Black podcast is out today, so make sure you tune into that. Still to come in breakfast this morning.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarx Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarx.
Yes, different class coming up now. We'll be joined right here in the studio by viral Sunday League coach Steve Bracknell.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah, Master like Tommy, is he coming in here?
Yeah,
when?
It's every Friday tea time and sometimes on a Tuesday.
No way, we put him on a fitness plan. He promised me no more tippy teas. And he's in here.
But advice for you, Steve, do not go anywhere near the Chippy and Bridge of Weir Main Street, mate, or you'll hang me out to dry. Stay tuned for Steve after 9. We'll ask a Royal Oak assistant if it's his dream to coach the next Ian Wright, who famously rose from Sunday League to become one of Arsenal's greatest ever strikers. And also, what he makes of under-7s football becoming 3-a-side with no refs or goalkeepers. We'll also catch up with Gabby. Can't wait for this. We'll also catch up with Gabby's mate Chris Wokes, looking very much forward to speaking to Chris, who announced his retirement from international cricket. That was a look ahead with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
Okay, 8:52. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Really enjoying the show this morning. However, we did have really sad news that former England Rugby Union captain Lewis Moody has revealed he's been diagnosed with MND, motor neuron disease, the same disease that killed fellow rugby players Doddy Weir and the equally courageous Rob Burrow. Moody discovered he had MND after noticing some weakness in his shoulder while training in the gym. After physiotherapy failed to improve the problem, a series of scans showed nerves in his brain and spinal cord had been damaged by MND. Lewis obviously spoke to BBC this morning after receiving the news.
It's never me that I feel sad for. It's the sort of sadness around having to tell my mum, as an only child, and the implications that has for her. Having to tell the boys. I mean, two brilliant boys, and that was pretty heartbreaking, wasn't it? But
dear me, that's a tough listen. 4 high-profile rugby players have suffered from MND in recent years. The absolutely brilliant Juice van der Vestehuizen, Rob Burrow, Doddy Weir and Ed Slater. Joining us now is former Scotland rugby player and spokesperson for the Doddy Weir Foundation, which he does so much great work for MND, Kenny Logan. Kenny, a very, very good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Kenny.
Morning, guys. Not the best Monday to wake up to. Hearing that horrific news with Lewis. As I said, all my thoughts and love to his family, and the rugby community and the sports community will be whatever he needs. We're there for him.
Ken, it's one of these things, mate, and nobody knows it better than yourself. Particularly top-level sportsmen, whether it's rugby and women, of course, at any level. We do kind of think we're untouchable in terms of at that time your fitness, and nothing can stop you. But again, it's a harsh and diabolical reminder that this disease is, in our opinion, one of the worst. But it affects everybody in every walk of life.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have been through it with Doddy and Rob Burrows, and raising as much funds as we can. It's well known it's an underfunded disease.
Yeah.
And only in the last probably 8 or 9 years it's actually had a proper. Well, we've shone the light on it and tried to raise as much money as we can to try and find this cure. Today, it doesn't stop us. We're still going to fight as fast as we can to find a cure for people with MND. I mean, one thing that Doddy was very quickly realised, it wasn't about him. He realised it was about how does he find a cure for the people who are going to get it today or in the next 10 years. And since Doddy's passing, I think everybody worried about the foundation. But since then, they've raised a lot more money. It's become a real challenge for people to try and find this cure or find something that makes a proper impact. And they are getting there. They're finding things all the time. They're getting to know the disease better, and they're challenging disease, and the disease is under more pressure because of the challenges from the professors. But you need the money for it to try and find that cure. It's like any other the big diseases out there that are finding cures. They've got a lot of money behind them. So that's what we have to keep trying and keep drumming up as much support as we can.
Absolutely, mate. There's no doubt about it. And the one thing, you obviously been very much hands-on, but in the short period of time where I've tried to help a little bit in terms of the charity work and the cycles and things like that, there's a lot of the guys who've come along with MND, and obviously Rob and Doddy, and we know all the guys. The MND, I tell you what, the one thing it does, it strips a lot of people of everything they had, their natural powers.
Yeah.
But the one thing, Kenny, that I've noticed about, and I mean everybody that we've met with this illness, it doesn't break their spirit, pal.
No, it's incredible. I think that maybe previously that the likes of Ed Slater and Rob Burrows and Doddy and have shown real power, and it's really inspired a lot of people in MND to see how they've fought it. But the spirit is incredible. That community, how it's a death sentence, and the fight they have got in their own mindset is incredible, and that's what inspires us to keep working hard, because they're going through such a horrific environment, and we're outside that, and we can help. We can help and try and make a difference. The thing is, there's a lot of people saying, is there a link to rugby? There is a small link to fitness. People, extreme fitness, are really, really fit individuals. But from a point of view, it's still a disease that is constantly getting looked at to find out how it starts, how to stop it. So there's a lot of answers. I know that Pam Shott, Sheffield University, has done a big study on an elite sportsman, and understand these people who are working their bodies in such an intense environment and pushing themselves, they've got more of a risk. So we've just got to keep working hard at it, and hopefully we can find out some sort of cure in the future.
Kenny, what can the rugby community and the rest of the public do to help, mate, and support?
I think first and foremost, Lewis has got a family. We need to make sure they're supported, and he's got he has to work, right? He's not he's a rugby player who's won a World Cup, but he will still have to work and make a living for his family. So I think that's the first thing. We've got to try and help his family, make sure that they're looked after. And it's, I can't speak for him. I know Lewis, he's a top man. He's a really good lad.
Yep.
One of the nicest guys we'll meet, actually. And he's one of these guys that will always turn up, and every time you see him, big smile and gives you a big hug. How you getting on? And we've got to do that for him now and his family.
Absolutely, Kenny, no doubt about it. Just to echo that, our thoughts are definitely Lewis and his family. And a personal point, what you giving me off? You give me 6 months off before I'm back on this bike? What's
I think we might have to go on a bit quicker, big guy. Normally it's about 2 years.
By the way, I need the listeners to know I was mentally scarred at the bottom of that hill in the outskirts of Dublin. Was it Wicklow? Remember?
Wicklow.
Oh, I knew to myself, Gabby, we've come to the bottom of this hill, and you always know you're struggling when you've got a cycle up a hill that's named after an Irish cyclist. Do you know what I mean? They were never going to name a wee hill after an Irish cyclist. That hill has scared me, Kenneth, for months. But I made it, pal. I made it.
You did make it. I remember I was with you at one stage, and you said to me, the lights are off, and I'm running around the room trying to find the switch. I'll see you at the top. But that's why we do it, right? That's why we, that last day when we did that challenge, the last one we did.
Incredible.
We did 2,000 metres in half a day, and it was hard work, wasn't it? It was bloody hard work.
Mate.
But
I don't mind telling you, but you're right. The overriding thing was the cause, and that's what kept us all going, wasn't it, mate?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was.
Well, you keep up the good work. Obviously,
thank you, Kenny.
Echo once again, Kenny.
Thanks, guys.
Our thoughts are with Lewis and the family, and I hopefully will see you very, very soon, my friend. Keep up the good work. If you want to donate to this very important cause, head over to www.myname5doddy.co.uk. I'm going to give you that again, www.myname5doddy.co.uk. Everyone here at talkSPORT obviously send their love and support to Lewis and his family. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Ally and Gabby.
bottom, it isn't quite the same. Even for those on the rise, there's not an awful lot of cash in the boxing world, and if you're just starting out, well, it can be a very costly exercise indeed. But don't take my word for it. Here's the former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver.
You're turning professional and you're boxing, let's say, York Hall on a non-televised fight. You have to sell tickets to earn any money, but you have to cover the wages of your opponent as well. So if you don't have the ability to be able to sell enough tickets, you effectively have to pay to fight.
A far cry then from Jake Paul facing Mike Tyson in 2024, when the purse was reported to be around £48 million. But the vast amounts of cash lining the top dog's pockets isn't the norm in a typical fight.
Let's say you're lucky and you get between 5 and 10 grand. You're going to get 10 grand max for that. 10% goes to the trainer, 25% goes to the manager. Then we've got the tax man to pay as well. So we're cutting that money in at least half. So now you've got 5 grand for a 10-week camp. So you're talking about a guy here earning, he might be clearing 500 quid a week. How do you support a family on that? So boxers chase the dream. And, you know, there's probably 2% of them that actually make it.
So say you do make it and you start to rise up the ranks. Strikers Boxing, a training academy, says the mid-tier fighters can earn more, somewhere between £10,000 and £50,000 a fight, depending on record, profile, opponent and popularity of weight class. It's only at the top level does the real cash start flowing in, with the top-tier professionals, i.e. those going for titles, earning 6 figures a fight. Something else you'll have heard of is the terms prize fighter or journeyman. A prize fighter is, as it sounds, someone who picks up fights where they can and gets a nice big check if they win. Journeymen are the fighters who take on up-and-comers, effectively used for experience in the ring. Even if they're going up against a real prospect, a young Anthony Joshua, for example, these guys will be lucky to earn more than 10 grand. So the average boxer isn't as rich as you'd think.
Okay, Monday the 6th of October, it's bang on 6 minutes past 9. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Ally and Gabby this morning. And obviously our good friends at Arnold Clark get the UK's best used car deals guarantee. But now it's all changed at Ibrox again. Russell Martin has gone after just 123 days in charge, having won just one league game.
There's been a fragility in this club for a long, long time. The precursor to change is pain. The club's bounced around with different ideas, different plans, really been hinged on emotion, making decisions just on a quick reaction.
10 games, 3 wins, worst defeat in Europe 6-0 in about 30 odd years. The man's going to take us deeper into a hole that we're going to struggle to get out this season.
Russell, the fans believe they were quite clear that they would like you to resign and to go. It's overwhelming now from the support. No wins in 5, worst league start in many a year. The fans want you to go.
I don't think many of them wanted me here in the first place, so...
Will you resign?
No.
I'm telling you now, there is worse to come and the nail will be in the coffin. I've had enough and Martin needs to leave that club alone.
We have given up on you, we don't want you here. How can that atmosphere change then without you leaving to allow the players to have a different atmosphere?
I don't know, we'll have to wait and see.
He's managed at clubs like MK Dons and Swansea and he was a loanee at Rangers. Russell Martin's, whoa, bang average.
Ultimately, I'm the one in charge of the team, so I have to accept responsibility, and we haven't had enough wins on days like today. It's been a frustrating period.
Russell Martin? Russell who? I'd have preferred Bob Martin.
Yes, Mr. Martin has lost his job. He began his reign by telling Rangers fans that he'd prove the doubters wrong, but instead, incredibly, it left his final game in a police horse guard escort, which isn't great, by the way, incidentally. The writing was on the wall for a while, you have to say, from the Champions League humiliation in Bruges. I was there. Really poor. Two defeats from 2 in the Europa League, just to 8 points in the league, all before the clocks went back. Now, Gabby, really disappointing, obviously. We don't like to see him to lose a job, but this is probably the least surprising managerial dismissal I can remember in a long, long time.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is, and I mentioned it before, I think you're always up against it when a section of fans aren't keen on your appointment. I think that was the case. You heard Russell say it himself, but it's results.
Yep.
It's results that get you the sack, and that's what it is. And the results haven't been good enough. They weren't good enough. Some of the, never mind the results, I just thought some of the performances, particularly the Bruges game, which, dear me, was staggering. I was there. And then I look at the game at the week, midweek as well, just defensively, some of the goals that they've lost. So,
do you think as well,
while I think, sorry, Gab, while I think, and I understand totally, the manager would get dismissed because of results, we shouldn't forget the players have a big, massive responsibility as well, and I don't think they've done themselves any justice at all. But no surprise to see the manager go.
But we talk about the players, we talk about the manager. Do you think certain board members, decision makers, should follow Russell Martin?
Well, I think he's two of his staff. I read 2 of his staff are away with him automatically as well. Not automatically. I've left with them, been dismissed.
What about above? The ones that made the decision to give him a job in the first place?
Well, it's been proved to have been a poor decision.
Yep.
Right. There's no getting away from that. It's been proved to be a very poor decision. However, the new owners will come in, won't do that. They'll take stock of the whole situation. Right. They've dismissed the manager because of results. The one thing I would say, the board and the chief exec are going to have to get this one right. And in getting it right, we mentioned the surprising decision. It was a surprising decision because of what has been going on in terms of recruitment. The appointment of Kevin Vell's son into the recruitment. The recruitment of the manager is of clearly and understandably of vital importance, but future recruitment has to be miles better than it's been. We have spent, for a club like Rangers, an incredible amount of money. And at this moment in time, the supporters are effectively seeing, apart from Gassama, aside, not seeing any return elsewhere. Paid $4.5 million for a player and he's out on loan.
Incredible. You expect that from like a Manchester United with limited funds.
Just cannot believe it. I just cannot believe it.
But Ali, for me, growing up, and I've said to you many times, growing up as a 14, 15-year-old, Rangers Celtic, they're going to win that game. Checking teletext. Rangers will win again, Celtic will win again. Did you think 15 years ago only 2 titles Rangers would win in 15 years?
No.
Did you think in 2025, after 7 games, Hearts would have 19 points and Rangers would have 8 points after 7 games?
No, and it'd be completely wrong of me to dismiss clubs like Hearts because it's happened before. I mean, we saw it last year with Aberdeen, for example. Aberdeen are an unbelievable start. I think they won the first 12 and drew at Celtic Park. And there has been occasions during my playing career where Hearts could have and should have won the league. Aberdeen could have won the league in the last season.
After 7 games, I'm talking about not the season. After 7 games,
you're right. 11
points behind Hearts. Has that ever been heard of?
No. I'm specifically, we're talking about Rangers at this moment in time, and so we should. But the standard with the old firm generally has dropped incredibly, right? You know, and I'm not trying to drag Celtic in it, but the Celtic fans and the protests they've had would tell you that they're not happy. I'm just so worried about the standard. Hearts have been a kind of breath of fresh air at this moment in time. Mother were a little bit unlucky not again yesterday as well. But do you know what hit it home for me last week, right? I'm doing the game, Sturm Graz away.
Yes.
And I looked at the home game, the corresponding game when we played them, whenever it was, and Rangers won 5-0. and the goal scorers are Michael Moles, George Alberts, Ronald De Boer. You know, I think we Dodgy get one, and I can't remember who. I mean, I'm thinking that's the dramatic decline within Rangers at this moment in time, and something has to give. That there has to be better decisions made by the decision makers.
And we talk about the fans yesterday that wrongly, you know, covering their faces and mocking the coach.
Yeah,
Russell Martin had to go and get a sneaky car the other side of the stadium, but they're probably thinking 2 titles in 15 years, where their fathers, their mothers, their grandparents are used to Rangers, multiple wins, winning all the time, and now it's like, oh, when is our next title going to come?
It's absolutely incredible. Now, 03717223344, that's the number to call. And Lewis, the Rangers fan, has done exactly that. Morning, Lewis.
Good morning, Lewis.
Good morning, lads. How you doing?
Very well. Thanks for taking the time to call us, mate. Where do you sit on the whole scenario? I mean, it's not exactly groundbreaking news, is it?
No. I mean, we all know it was coming, was it? I think I was thinking about it in the car coming down today, and think, you know, every manager has a result that they never recover from. Goodwin was Darvel, Clement was Queen's Park at home, and I think, like you say, Ali, Club Brugge 5-0. He would never get a recover for that. Or 6-0, whatever it was. He would never get a recover for there. And I think it got to the point as well where the fans were beginning to turn on the board. And that's not what they want, especially they're just in the door.
What do you think now? Who would your own preferred choice be, Lewis?
I like the idea of Muscat. I just think he's maybe a bit too hot-headed for Glasgow. I don't agree with... I mean, Gerrard, but there's only certain managers that can come back and do it well. There was Walter came in with Kenny McDowell and Durant. He took some other lad. I don't know if you know him, Ali.
Well, I think Walter was a bit special, though, Lewis, to be fair. What would do for a Walter right now? Listen, mate, I really appreciate the call. We've got another call. Peter, the Rangers fan. Peter's here. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Peter.
Morning, lads. How we doing?
We're well, mate. Thanks for joining us. What do you think?
As being a Rangers fan all my days, Ali, like yourself, I've never wanted a manager out so much in all my life. So very, very happy that Russell Martin has now left his post.
What was it for you, Peter? Was it plain and simple results? Was it style of play? I mean, effectively,
you mentioned a word there, Ali. Standard. The standard was shown with him in day one when he doesn't follow his club traditions with wearing his suit and things like that. And I thought there was a bit of arrogance. And I say to the guys that sit with the football, I says, listen, we're in for a long season here. And sure as God, it started off, it was poor. Results were terrible. And it never ever felt that the players were together, Ali, and playing for him, you know. So I've never wanted to see a manager lose his job as much in all my life. And happy that he's away. We need to look, obviously, to the recruitment for the next one. And I don't believe that Kevin Felwell and the CEO, Patrick Stewart, are the man or the men, shall we say, to be doing that. I think they've got to go as well. They've played a massive part in bringing in Martin, and they said that he was the right man for the job. They've thoroughly went through his CVs and sat down with him, and he was the man, and he was the man to take us forward, Ali. And that's what they say. That's not happened, and it's not happened for day one. So you got to give somebody a bit of time. We know we need time at the moment, absolutely. But you know what? The results and the way that the players have been playing for him, which are not together, I think that they've got to go as well. It's way beyond just Martin.
Okay.
You know?
Listen, Peter, thanks very much. Appreciate you taking the time to call us. Interesting times ahead, Gab, that's for sure.
Of playing for Rangers is bigger than what some people think.
It's a heavy jersey, mate. I'm telling you right now. Best place in the world. Best place in the world to play when things are going well. See, when it's
Those
not.
European nights.
It's a difficult place to play when things aren't going well. 9:17. Okay, guys, 9:21. It's time for a bit of this.
I say I don't like cricket. Oh no, I love it. I don't like cricket. No, no, I love it.
Went right out of my head, that.
I love this tune, by the way.
That's a brilliant tune. It went right out of my head. I had to ask Ed who that was. It's 10cc.
Whenever it comes on, you know what Big Brazil says? Gabby, you're not in Montego Bay now. Calm down.
Well,
unbelievable tune.
10cc. Did they also sing, Ed, help me out, the classic Bob Marley one, I Shot the Sheriff?
Ed won't know.
Yeah, I think they did. No, it was Eric Clapton. Again.
Close.
Nearly. At the post. One man who can certainly tell me the rights and wrongs of that song. Certainly loved international cricket was former England bowler Chris Woakes. 62 Test Pro, 192 wickets and 122 one-day international, including playing a key role in the 2019 World Cup win. He also won the T20 World Cup in 2022 and was named Player of the Series in the Ashes a year later. But last week, he called it a day, and joining us now to tell us why is Chris himself. Chris, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Roxy.
Morning, lads. Morning, Ali. Morning, Gabs. How are you?
We're brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Thanks for taking the time to join us. Really appreciate it. Tough decision, mate. I mean, some people get to a stage and it's maybe the decision's an easy one, whether it's injury or whatever it is. How did you find it? What made you come to the decision, mate?
Yeah, it's. I suppose it is a little bit of one of those moments where it's a little bit sad and I suppose overwhelming decision. But I kind of had those sort of thoughts creeping into the head, and I suppose with the shoulder injury that I picked up at the back end of the series against India in the summer, kind of may have just forced my hand a little bit. And when I wasn't picked for the Ashes tour, unfortunately, on fitness grounds, it kind of made sense for me to move on and let the next generation take over, I suppose.
Wokesy, you've had an outstanding career. I mean, a legend of the game. Ex-cricket players speak so highly of you as, a teammate, as a person and as a player. So I wanted to go back, and if you could go back and relive one moment of your career, what would it be? Very tough question.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, mate. Very fortunate to have had, a long career with England. Some people don't get lucky enough as much as I have. So I feel very fortunate and to have spent great memories both on and off the field. But I think that 2019 win, mate,
yes,
World Cup win at home at Lord's. It wasn't just the day itself. I mean, it was a dramatic day, and the game was a bit of a crazy one, as we all know. But I think the journey that we've been on from 2015 all the way through to 2019 as a team, to turn it round from where we were to be, the best team in the world, and then to take that opportunity at Lord's, and win a World Cup final at home was amazing to spend that with that group of lads and that team.
Well, actually, I'll tell you right now, mate, it's one of the most incredible pieces of sport I've ever watched in my life. And you'll be aware of the fact, I sat and watched it in Portugal outside, right? And the missus was in watching, I think it was Nadal Federer, given as one of the best tennis finals ever. But I could not take my eyes off that telly. Stokesy diving, hitting the bar, the final over. I mean, even the New Zealand boys catching it on the boundary and not, I was with my foot. Everything, mate. It was unbelievable.
It was written in the stars, Ali, I think, that day, mate. There was many moments during that game where it had gone. We'd lost, to be honest. And then those moments happened, as you said, Trent Bolt stepping on the rope when, one of the best fielders in the game as well, to do that. And then obviously the situation with Stokey where it hit Stokesy and it hits the bat and goes for four, like that will never be seen again.
Incredible.
For all that to happen in a World Cup final was just remarkable.
Well, I tell you what, I wish you'd on for a lot longer, mate. I want so many questions I want to ask you. Most difficult opponent, is it the obvious guys with Smith come into the equation and Coley and boys like that?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Those lads who've got that, that aura about them, obviously world-class players. I think, the Fab Four's mentioned, isn't it, as a batting group, that Williamson, Smith, Root, Coley. Thankfully, I haven't had to bowl too much at Joe in a match situation. But, Steve Smith and Virat and Kane are the top batters that I've bowled at, especially in the test game. There's many good players out there, but those three stand out from afar. And, I got I managed to get Smith out a few times in my career, but the problem is he was always on 150, so that was always the issue. But no, great players, mate. Great.
What
players.
about talking about Smith? Talking about the Aussies? Can't wait for the Ashes coming up, mate. And obviously your disappointment. You mentioned that register with the non-inclusion in the squad due to injury, but just tell us how do you see it going? How difficult is it going to be for the boys out there?
Yeah, it'll always be difficult going down under, mate. It's never easy going there in those conditions. They're so strong there, but it feels like we've got a great opportunity, more so than that I've seen in the last 15 years. We've got a great opportunity to go there and do something special. It feels weird sitting on the other side of the fence now. I can actually stand here and with confidence say we're going to win. So I genuinely think we've got a great chance, and I think we will. It feels like the team's building in the right direction, and we haven't quite got over the line in the last few years in the big series, but I feel like this one could be the time.
What has it been like, that rivalry with Australia? Because when you speak to other ex-cricket players, they say some of the things that get said, you can't repeat, and the rivalry's so intense with them.
Yeah, to be honest, mate, it's similar to what we saw at Beth Page with the golf the other week.
Yes,
it's that sort of atmosphere. You know what I mean? It's very intense, and the Aussies do anything to get under your skin. You've got the media under your skin, trying to trip you up at any opportunity, and obviously coming up against a world-class team every time you go there as well, which is difficult. But the rivalry is fierce. I think it's probably more so off the field than it is on the field sometimes, but it just adds to it, doesn't it? We're of course in the entertainment business, and the Ashes is always entertaining, mate.
Walksy, what about that? I mean, you tell us a story walking down with that bat and that sling against India. What were you thinking about, mate?
Oh, I was hoping not to face the ball, Ali, to be really honest. I won't lie. It was one of those moments, a bit surreal, really. Still looking back at it, it was a bit of a pinch yourself moment. I didn't really think I was ever going to bat. I thought we were going to walk the game, and then we managed to mess it up, unfortunately. But walking down, mate, it was a bit strange. Obviously, walking out there with one arm is never ideal. But you got a job to do for the team, and unfortunately we didn't go over the line. I suppose that's the most annoying thing of it all. But there's never a doubt in my mind that I was going to get out there if needed, and it'd have been interesting if I'd have had to face a ball, mate. That's for sure.
It's still very soon, Wokesy, but I'm going to ask you what's next for you, because you've got so much experience to offer as a coach. You speak very well to be a pundit as well, because Addy can tell you, and I can tell you, and other sportsmen, when you retire, it can be quite dark, mate. You can be waking up on a Monday morning, you're like, oh, I've got no schedule.
Yeah.
So prepare yourself for that as well, mate. And what do you feel is next for you?
Yeah, obviously it's quite early doors, mate, but I feel content with the decision. It feels right. But at the same time, I actually still want to play for a couple of years if I can. The body is good, other than the shoulder at the minute.
Lovely.
And I'd like to play a bit of county cricket for Warwickshire, maybe give a bit back there. And then we'll see, mate. Hopefully some doors open up regarding the media stuff. I've been, doing a little bit over the summer and the last couple of years, and then I'm currently doing my level 3 coaching badge as well. So a few opportunities, mate, but just trying to make sure I stay fit and play for a couple of more years.
Roy Keane style pundit, or
I'm not sure if I've got that personality, mate. I'm not sure I've got that one, but we'll see. Maybe your neck of the woods, mate. You know what I mean? Another Brummie on the radio.
Please.
Well, Walksy, as a fellow ex-bowler yourself, who's my best stats were 4 for 5 on the beach at Ely. We played him up at Ely every year, mate. It's magic. Took 4 for 5 last year. But it's not about me, mate. It's about you and your retirement. We want to take this opportunity, first of all, mate, and thanking you for your service and the entertainment you've provided us all over the years. And we both wish you all the very, very best for the future, pal.
Yes. Top man, Walksy.
Cheers, Ali. Thanks, Gabs. Appreciate your time, lads.
Well done, mate. Thank you very, very much. Proper legend. Now, coming up, it's time for Gabby's favourite feature. Will he be granting Mo Salah his wish of another 20-goal season? I wouldn't have thought so. Or are you? Find out next. flown in this morning, mate. Absolutely flown in.
Absolutely.
What have we got? 9:35. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with us this morning, and of course we are here with our good friends at Arnold Clark. Get £750 off any used electric car, even, or a home charger. Now, Monster Week to bring you right here on talkSPORT Breakfast Show with a whole host of top guests. Listen to this. How about this a rundown?
Come on then.
Former tennis champion, broadcast legend, proper legend, we're talking now, and national hero Sue Barker will be with us tomorrow. Absolutely different class. We love Sue. Sue's the best. End of. Wednesday we'll bring you Rugby League Hall of Famer Martin Afaya, brilliant.
Legend.
And actor Alan Davis, fantastic. Then we'll head to the track as legendary cyclist Geraint Thomas, brilliant, and 4 times British champion jockey Murphy will join us. You don't want to miss a minute of the talkSPORT Breakfast Show this week, so join us from 6 a.m. every morning. We have got some guests lined up, I can tell you. Now though, get your magic lamp out, Gab, because it's time for this.
Got an issue? Why can't you see? All you need is some help from me. Give my lamp a rub. 1, 2, 3. I'm the Gabby Genie.
You're the Gabby Genie. Listen, the first thing we've got the guys are going crazy. I've not mentioned that Mjällby, our friends in Sweden, I think won 1-0 at the weekend, and they have one hand on the trophy.
Yes.
They have got one hand on the trophy, which is incredible. Now, as we all know, every good genie is able to grant 3 wishes with a magic rub of the lamp, and Genie Gab is no different whatsoever. So whack your lamp on the table, Gab. I can't believe I'm reading this. Who wrote that? That's diabolical. I'm ready. No, I'm taking off. Right, your lamp's out. Here we go. Listen.
Manchester City, their 3rd win in 4 games. They're within touching distance now of Arsenal at the top of the table. But once again, it was far from convincing. And they lost Rodri to injury early in the first half as well.
Right, Pep Guardiola's come to Eugenie Gab and asked you to grant him the wish that his Manchester City side don't fall apart without Rodri like they did last season. Are you granting him that wish?
They're a better team with Rodri in, of course.
No doubt.
He's not been the same without that injury.
No doubt.
Ballon d'Or winner, the best when fit in that position. But since that injury, Ali, he's not looked the same. Even when I've watched him this season at times, doesn't look like he's comfortable.
Is that not just a lack of games, or is it one of these things, because he's been out long term, Gab, what naturally happens, you will know as well as anybody, your body picks up other little niggles because it's trying to protect the.
How many times have we seen it with top players, Ali, that once you get that big injury, sometimes your body takes time, you get other little injuries coming off the back of that long-term injury. It's a big worry for Pep Guardiola, especially in the Champions League, because he's immense, isn't he?
Massive for them, mate.
Sometimes he's dragged Manchester City over the line in games.
Oh, he's massive.
Set pieces outside of the box, screamers he scored in pivotal moments. But players like Nico Gonzalez have to step in though. You know, Ali, you build a squad of players, you spend big money on a top squad. So if you do lose a key player like Rodri, someone can fill in and take their chance.
Okay, Big Ange has come to Eugenie Gab and asked you to grant him the wish of surviving the international break as Forest boss. Are you granting him that wish?
I am, 100% he'll be the boss. But I would say we all know there's another international break in November. So before then, the Premier League games that Nottingham Forest have are Chelsea at home, Bournemouth away, Manchester United at home, and Leeds at home. I feel he has to get 6 points out of those 4 games minimum to probably be in the job. And you look at November international break, because then the owner will start looking at it and say, Nuno Santo.
I think the owner, for all it's worth, I think the owner will not be scared to make a decision. However, I think he'll want to be proved right in his choice of manager. So, you know,
I'll just look at them games, Ali. He's no chance he's getting sacked this international break. That's silly talk. He would have conversations with the owner, of course, but Chelsea at home, that's going to be a very tough game. Bournemouth away as well, really tough.
Oh, massive, mate.
Yep.
Okay, we've got one more. Here we go.
think today he came in a lot of promising situations. So normally with Mo, that means that leads to goals. Today it didn't. So that is what I saw.
Interesting one. Arne Slot's come to Eugenie Gab and asked you to grant him the wish of Mo Salah scoring 20 league goals and firing his team to the title. There's a big question.
Listen, he's got 2 goals out of 7 games, but if you're going to write Mo Salah off, then you've got serious issues, because last season, Ali, 38 games, 29 Premier League goals, 18 assists, 29 Premier League goals last season.
Outstanding, mate.
Exactly. So he started off slow, but he will hear this criticism. You know, there's no one that looks after their body better than Mo Salah. I'm sure he'll go away with international duty and come back and have a point to prove. I think he does get 20 Premier League goals. Don't forget he takes penalties. He's actually not touching that ball.
Mate,
I'm looking at it. I'm taking penalties.
He's more than capable of scoring 10 and 10, 12 and 10, isn't he?
100%. Yeah, we can't write Mo Salah off. So I think, yes, he will get 20 Premier League goals.
I'll tell you where I'm at, mate. I think we're well within our rights to be a little bit concerned about his recent form.
Agreed.
But at the same time, we'll have to balance it and say he has been ridiculously good in recent seasons. Ridiculously good. So, for that, I'll mention it again. I think if MD deserves a bit of slack cut for him for having a drop in form, it's him. However, we've got to talk about it because, you know, he's so key to Liverpool.
And I think as well, Mo Salah himself will say, I want to be scoring how many goals Haaland's scoring. He wants the golden boot, Ali. So you look at 2 out of 7, he's not good enough
100%.
For the level of ability that he's got.
Okay, mate, enjoyed that. Where are we now? Arne Slot is coming. I've got just done. No, Arne Slot's coming. Hold on a minute. Is that it twice? No, you're right. I've turned into Big Brazil.
Technology.
It's a seat. I've lasted to 9:42, mate. Then I've been Braziled.
His seat.
Now, don't forget, the latest episode of the 21 Minutes to Go podcast with Andy Golson and Jason Cundy is out now. This week, the podcast takes an unusual turn as Cundy goes all Brian Cox and Andy and gives them an education on the moon.
When it's a half moon, what's covering the other half?
I don't know whether you're serious. No,
I'm deadly serious.
Earth.
What are you talking about? Are you joking?
Earth's covering the...
I can see it in the sky. It's half a moon.
I know, but...
What do you mean Earth? So I'm looking up at the sky.
Okay, so I know, but what do you think lights the moon up? What do you think when it's lighting the sky? What do you think is lighting the moon up?
Well, I imagine the sun.
Right. Okay. We cast a shadow on the moon.
Oh, I see.
The sun's behind us.
Well, I think it's fair to say we're all learning on today's podcast.
Give me a headache, that.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's the first thing I'm going to check because I don't know what it is.
You don't know the answer?
No.
I thought you know that.
What is it, Ed? Ed's shaking the Ed doesn't know.
Ed ain't got a clue about anything.
We have got absolutely no chance. So if you haven't already, go and check 20 Minutes to Go with Andy Golson and Jason Cundy, available on your favourite podcast provider. Now, here we've got coming into the break. Coming up, we're absolutely thrilled to be bringing you a huge guest. Royal Oak FC assistant manager Steve Bracknell is with us next, and Steve will be telling us whether he would want Sunday League to VAR and if the under-7s turning into a 3-a-side is woke nonsense. Steve next. Okay, final segment of the show, 9:48. It is Monday the 6th of October. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. It says here, time for a bit of fun, and it will be a bit of fun.
Absolutely.
But it's also time for a bit of serious football.
Pre-season starts today because there's no reason why he and why he and why me and why you can't lift that silverware. I never touched it, I never touched it. You were intending clearly of it. I'm done here, I'm going to get a red. Because continually we're having sluggish starts. What did you have for tea last night?
Chipper.
Correct. Here we go. Our biggest battle's not relegation. No, it's diabetes. Tommy, go Frank Carpet there to pull that. There's no sponsor, no, but in absolute crisis. I don't need to go and employ a set-piece coach. You two big lads, over back, all right? Get it in 6-yard box. There you go. Are you for real? Are you for real? What's so with me? We've just lost 6-1 and you're swapping shirts with me.
Okay, that's right. Viral sensation. Sunday League mastermind, assistant manager of Royal Oak FC, Steve Bracknell, stepping out of the dugout and onto the stage with his first ever UK tour. Steve Bracknell live this month. So to tell us more, Steve joining us now right here in the studio. Steve, a very good morning. Very good morning. Thanks very much for taking the time for what is an unbelievably busy schedule to join us for 15-20 minutes. Thank you.
It's an absolute honour and a pleasure. I mean this. I've watched this show for years, and Adam sat there. Our Nicky's tuning in. They've got it on it, Boozer. All right, it's not hopping yet. Cleaner's listening, but that doesn't matter. Brilliant.
Well, I'm going to come straight, and it's a wee bit of level of criticism, you mate. You mentioned your Nicky there.
Straight in, innit?
I'm not messing
I knew this was going to happen this morning.
Steve, it's for the punters out there want to know, mate. Right? You've mentioned your Nicky, right? Now, I saw you a couple of weeks ago sunning yourself, which you're quite entitled to do.
I am entitled to.
You're very much entitled to do that, and your Nicky was there. But wee Viv's like to me, look here, Steve, away with Nicky again. You're putting boys like me under pressure, mate. I mean, what have you got to say for yourself?
You should have seen backlash I got from Royal Oak fan base.
Yeah.
International break, Pep Guardiola, he's swanning around New York. No, not a care in the world. No one bats an eyelid. Steve Bracknell goes on an all-inclusive to Malta. All hell breaks loose in fan base. You don't mean it. Mid-season this, mid-season that. I says, hold on a minute.
I know.
I'm not paying sky high prices in summer, so I went in September. We had a buying cup. I was more than in my right to do so.
And most importantly, how are you feeling? Refreshed, batteries recharged, bang, we're off and running.
I'm absolutely fuming.
Why?
Because I've rocked up yesterday. I told Bob 9 o'clock, get there an hour before, lads. We'll set up flags, nets, blah de blah. Referees come 10:30. It's called game off. Heavy wins.
All right.
Worst thing is, I've still got to pay him. Apparently for his travel time. I says, would it not windy in your back garden? Can you not make that call, do you?
That. What about the opposition? Have they arrived on the scene already? I mean, could they not?
They weren't happy either. I'm right. We'll take it to Imperial League because there's going to be a fixture pile up now. But there we go. But yeah, all good, mate. Riding wave. It's been an absolute monumental year.
Can I ask Steve a quick question?
You get right about it.
Steve, if you was Russell Martin and we saw the protests yesterday,
and I'm not,
at Falkirk, how would you deal with the protesters?
I'd go in front of them.
What would you say to them, mate?
I'd say what you need to say now. Let's have it out in car park. It's all right barricading me in. I'm here. Take a shot at me. Listen, it's intense up there. I reckon Celtic Rangers is probably the only fixture that's worse than Nags Head and Royal Oak.
Dare I say it, mate? I think Rangers and Celtic have maybe got a little bit more respect for one another than you boys have, with, for example, Royal Oak and Nags Head. Is that beyond repair, that? Oh,
it's gone. That ship sailed. I've been walking down London today on way to meet you all. I saw Tower.
Brian, if you're walking along there and you bump into him, how's that go?
I wouldn't say a word to him. The guy badmouths. He's absolutely fuming this last 8 months since we've gone viral. I told him for years, one day I'll hit it, Brian. And they're 2 leagues above us, but off the field, they're an absolute ramshackle. There's corruption, there's brown envelopes, there's this, there's that. I reckon he were paid. He's mates with referee back way. Referee who cancelled game Sunday, drinks in Nag's Head. He's trying to cause me a fixture pile up come May.
I've got much for my jersey, which I've been wearing with pride at the 5-a-sides. There you are. Did you know that? I need to send you a picture of it. I'm still gracing the 5-a-side.
Does it fit you?
It's probably slightly tighter than it would have been.
I told you to go a size up, Alec.
It's probably.
But you were insistent. No, honestly, I'm Excel. I says, all right, Alec, that's a way. Sent it off. I went, Nicky, might as well have chucked it on fire.
But you can tell, Nicky, it's given me a target.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm about.
We'll
Setting
need
goals,
targets.
ambition, and then we go.
We all need targets.
Can I have a quick question, Ali? Is that okay, Ali?
Absolutely.
You can't get a word in with him, can you?
Honest to God. If the Sheffield Wednesday owner was here right now, what would you have to say to him?
Steve, man.
Do the honourable thing. Do the honourable thing and let these fans have some freedom. I mean, I was here sat there with protests. It was heartbreaking. A club like that, tradition. And listen, if this regulator's worth its salt, and he'll be on next, Jordan with dictionary talking about it, saying big words because it makes him pseudo-intellectual. He'll have his say about it, but come on. We're killing clubs, man.
Correct.
We're killing clubs. But a club is not a badge. It's not a stadium. It's not even players. A club is a spirit, and you can't kill a spirit. So, hang tight Wednesdayites. He will go. He'll come off worse than us, and future will look rosy.
And that wee man's epitomising your spirit.
Mr. Bannon?
Yes.
I absolutely.
Hasn't he?
I have to stop me. Nicky says, don't text him. Why? It's 1:30 in the morning. But I have to, honestly, I absolutely genuinely. I love him as much as Olivia.
Well, I can see you welling up.
And if he needs a bodder while he's not getting paid, he rings Steve Bracknell.
Does he?
I'll wire transfer it instantly for what that bloke's done for me. I don't want to see him and kids struggling.
No, I'm sure he'll appreciate that, mate. That's definitely level. What's success for you boys this year?
Silverware. I've told him. I've wrote it on changing room walls. Nothing short of silverware. And mark my words, there'll be an open top bus going down Sheffield, and it will go via Nag's Head. It's got to be silverware. Oh,
would the police allow that?
Well, not. I'll work with him. I was about to say I'll not tell him, but now that's not right attitude. I'll work with police because there'll be some right crowds. But now I look at that trophy cabinet in tap room, and there's a winner at darts league, there's winner at pool league, and then our trophies Fair Play Award 2001. And I said to Paul Sampson, you can flush that down, bog. I don't want to win Fair Play Award.
Any players caught in the chip shop?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Disappointed in that.
See, that's interesting. We saw that, right? Now, I need to take it a step further, Steve. Was it the problem with the chip shop? Would you rather it was is it diet in general, or would you rather he went for a Chinese, or was it the chips?
There were an incident.
Was he having a couple of pickles?
There were an incident last season where he'd had a Chinese munchie box Saturday night, and then he had to leave field of play, left us down to 10 men while he went in bush. We then conceded. We had an absolute. We had a soul-searching meeting. We all promised. Well, Bob the Bucket, bless him, said, I'll put you all on a fitness plan. We all said we'd stick to it. I goes in Chippy Clare's, and I don't want to get her in bother because loose lips sink ships, but she went, he's coming in every Friday.
I thought she was a wee bit too forthcoming with information, because...
I'll be honest, they don't have GDPR in chip shops. But I tell you, it's coming.
You think it is?
He'll come.
You're not a fan of you at all, are you?
GDPR? No. They sent me on e-learning the other week. Oh, my. If you want to pay me to learn how to pick a bin up, no problem. I'll sit there all day. I'm a Sparky by trade. Anyway, I've told her, cut portions down. And then he's going... I says, you've been in Chippy. End of. I don't want stuttering. I want answers.
Well, but sponsors, you had a problem at the start of the season. Sponsors, remember?
I've got it. I can advertise on it. It's not BBC. New home shirt, Gripple.
Oh, lovely.
Gripple.
Isn't it magic, isn't it? Yeah.
Carpet Dave's a bit put out because we've not.
Well, I texted you about Carpet Dave, wasn't I thought he showed unbelievable respect, didn't I? I mean, I sent you that message.
Oh, they've had a right fallout with.
I know, but it seemed to me he raised himself above it, Carpet Dave.
He rised above it. He rose above it, and he came to me shop when we launched kit, which were like Beatlemania. Only it weren't John Lennon. It were Carpet Dave. There were thousands there, and clubs off the field, clubs looking rosy, no doubt. But it's a results-based business, as you two know, and it's about time we took some. If I can take that league title back into Royal Oak, the proudest day of my life, and I'm including marrying our Nicky in that.
You think so?
100%.
I've got to be honest, she's a remarkable woman, a sacrifice.
Oh, she's got right blogger.
Has she really?
I says to her, Nicky, World Cup next year, massive opportunity to spread for PR at club. You can't go. Why? One, it's expensive, and two, we've already booked to go to Corfu. So it's all right. Can't have 2 holidays a year now. But if it were all inclusive, she'd let me go.
But I'm looking at it, and we've had this discussion again, you and I. The amount of games. I mean, there might be enough games for you to do both. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of games now.
I hope them clubs have got. I hope Tuchel's got travel insurance, because I'm telling you now, there'll be ACLs, there'll be calf strains, there'll be Achilles, it'll be an absolute... That A&E, in wherever they play in Seattle, there'll be a queue.
Aye. I've been in the one in my army, it's mobbed.
But let's be fair, the Yanks know how to put a show on.
Oh, they will do.
It'll be a right affair, like.
You like the halftime shows?
No, let's not get carried away. But
do you remember? They'll need to get some of the best.
Imagine it, you're 3-0 down, World Cup final, and Chris Martin comes on to sing Yellow. I'd be absolutely fuming.
Surely that's better. Remember that penalty Diana Ross took?
Oh, yeah. Classic. They've got to recreate that, surely. Surely. Beyonce will do it.
Beyonce.
Watch it, she'll put it in top corner. I'll get it signed up, me. Play right back with Parksy.
Listen, mate.
Brilliant.
Continued success.
Yes.
You're legends, lad.
Breath of fresh air.
Absolute legends.
Absolute breath of fresh air. We'll be coming at you. When you're up in Glasgow, you got to be up in Glasgow. Come on.
We're coming to Glasgow, don't worry about it.
I'll take you for a meal.
I'm not getting involved in that Celtic Rangers nonsense.
No, don't you get involved in that at all.
I don't need that.
It's the best thing you can do is avoid that. Continued success, pal.
Yes. Love you, lads.
Thanks for coming in. Gab, how's the rest of your day you looking?
Yes, I'm going home, mate. I'm playing 6-a-side tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't won in about 10.
Stan playing?
Stan's playing.
I asked him about yours.